What is up, YouTube? Welcome to the latest Core 4 discussion. We are here to talk about one of my favorite books, A Mastery of Monsters by Lizelle Samberry. She is an author from Canada, I believe, and she has a YouTube channel. So if you're listening to this, if you like her books and you want to check her out, please do. She has so many videos talking about her process when it comes to writing, publishing, creating, and a million and one other things. But today we're talking about a book that she came out with in 2025, I believe. And it is about a girl named August whose mother and brother go missing, only for her to find out that they are connected to this world of monsters. I am your host, Ghosty, and I'm ready to get into it because I read this so long ago and we really need to talk about it. So, y'all introduce yourselves and let's get this thing underway finally.
Hi, everybody. I'm Danny.
Hello, everybody. Candace loves four books.
Hey y'all, I'm Riri.
Hi. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it. The book starts with this girl named Sammy. She's leaving a club or something like that. And she's with these other two girls. It's real sketchy. And I love this prologue because of the fact that it starts off with this young woman and all she wants to do is live her life. And it is right then that her life is completely cut off. I think it's perfect in a way. And I love that you don't hear from her again. I wanted to hear from her again so badly. I wanted to know if we ever just got like a second chapter with her. I wanted it to be the epilogue really bad that we would hear from her at least maybe, I don't know, as she was dying, but maybe that's a little bit morbid. What do y'all think? When I say it out loud, it sounds terrible.
I have, I have no opinion.
I think I'll pass on the deathbed confessions.
I get that. In chapter one, we meet the main character. We meet my girl August. And I know that some of us have some not so positive opinions of my girl, but we meet her and she's in a very similar situation, but she has a totally different level of one, I don't give a fuck, and two, agency. The way that she watches her surroundings, she's aware of herself, that she's also not going to just let anybody mess with her. I feel like you have these two similar situations, but they feel so different and they end up way differently too. August lives through her situation. RIP my girl Sammy, but she ain't make it.
Whole thing.
Since you love my girl August so much, Danny, how did you feel about chapter one?
For anybody listening, that is sarcasm. I cannot stand August. I absolutely cannot stand her because of her attitude, and I get why she's the way that she is. To me, it's about treating other human beings who did nothing to you at least with some type of, I guess, respect would be the word. Because if you come up to me and you have this aura of I don't give a fuck about you, sharing the same space as you is a burden to me, even though I'm in fucking public, like with other people. She drove me nuts because of her attitude toward other people and how she would really, 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 really shit on those who were trying to be in her corner. It just, I just didn't like her. Like I would never ever want to be a friend of friends with a bitch like that. Period. Take that gloom and doom somewhere fucking else. Get a journal, write about it. I don't know, go to therapy, figure it out, but you're not about to take it out on me.
Ooh, all right, Erica, Candace, what were you guys' initial feelings about August? And as we get to the end of this discussion, I will ask you if it changed. I would ask Danny, but I feel like she has said all she had to say.
Oh yeah, I've had weeks to sit on this.
She don't have no love for my girl.
I don't and won't.
Terrible.
I didn't get, I mean, I saw the attitude and whatnot, but I was pro August. August didn't really bother me. I was trying to figure out what was up with the other people because they were very sus. But August, I was most definitely down for.
Okay. Well, who do you think was most sus in the very beginning and why?
I'm gonna say Jules, her brother, and Virgil.
Jules. Okay. Well, that kind of checks out actually. And Virgil too. I can't lie. I do love Virgil. I think he is a human cinnamon roll, but yeah, they lie a lot.
I agree with that. To them, it's like technically speaking, I'm not lying, but lying by omission is still a lie.
Exactly. Before we move on from this, Erica, how did you feel about my girl August? Did you love her? Did anybody? Well, did anybody love her?
I don't think I loved her, but I don't think I hated her. She got on my nerves. But you know what I'm saying? You know how you be like, oh, here we go with this bitch. But that's just who they are. It's like acceptance is the key.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I don't know. I guess I was indifferent.
As far as characters go, I think she was designed that way. I think she was written to be more of a divisive character
Yeah.
where, you either love her or you hate her, or you love her despite the fact that you sometimes hate her. Like that kind of thing, which I think is where her friends they fall into that group, except for Riley, who I think can't stand that bitch. Riley reminds me of Danny in the way that she can't stand August. I think it's a perfect comparison.
I don't think that we can even start to talk about her until we talk about this alcohol consumption, right? I think that's probably why I was kind of like rooting for her, but then she on my nerves. But I understand why, because she's completely addicted to trying to escape. And this first time that we really meet her, she's escaping through copious amounts of alcohol
And really poor decisions
and really, really poor decisions.
because she's drinking. She's out at this club with people she does not know. She's completely by herself because she's talking to people when she's at the club, but she doesn't know anybody. And then she decides to walk through a park by herself.
I think that's one of the things that frustrated me about her. It was, woe is me, I'm so alone, nobody gives a damn about me, but you're also actively excluding yourself as well. And to me, that's like a contradiction. And I don't know if like the alcohol consumption plays a part in that, where it kind of alters the mind of confirming these feelings of nobody really wants me around, even though I'm actively distancing myself away from everybody.
My main thing with August and like the sticking point that I have with her that makes me feel like I love her despite the fact that sometimes I can't stand her is because she has these very severe abandonment issues when it comes to her mother and her father. Because her mom disappears,
Mhm.
and right before her mom disappears, they get into this fight about who August is, basically. And she feels like I disappointed her and then she disappeared. She's not confirmed dead, she's missing. So I don't know if she left because I finally decided that I couldn't be who she wanted me to be. And then her daddy just ships her off to her aunt without consulting her, without first trying to be an active father. I think that's what it is. It's just the fact that the people who are supposed to love me kind of left me, and I'm feeling just very abandoned. I think for anybody who has felt that, you you can kind of get there. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
identified with that a whole lot. And I was just like, this poor baby. Like, I understand she's an asshole, but she's hurting so bad, y'all.
I can agree with that. Like I said before, I understand why she's the way that she is. I still just don't like her.
I get that. I totally understand that. We have talked about some characters on this channel multiple times who do terrible things, and though they may be understandable, they are still detestable.
Yes.
So I will never hold that against anybody. My girl is a you love her or you hate her character, and I'm okay with that.
Hmm.
Shout out to Lizelle Sandberry actually for writing a young black woman character that not everybody likes because that's hard to do. And often black characters, but especially like black women, do not get to be the unlikable type. So shout out to her for that. I appreciate that. But before we move on, Eric, is there anything else you want to say about the alcoholism and the abandonment? Because I know that you tend to hit on those things as well.
No, I just wanted to make sure that we put that at the forefront of a lot of her actions, right? Like once you have that base understanding that we learned just in that very, that short chapter,
Real
um,
short.
you learn all that, and so it just really kind of should stay in the back of our mind. And I just didn't want to move on without bringing it forward. So thanks.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that because I did kind of skip over that part. There are these filler chapters that they just kind of exist to give you information. And chapter two is one of those. So in chapter two, we meet Jules, of course, finally. It was embarrassing for her, which I appreciate because I feel like August is a character that needs to be embarrassed every now and again to knock her off her high horse just a little bit. Because I do love my girl, but she is so much. I think at times we just need to bring her down a peg or two. So the way she met Virgil by vomiting at his feet was great. It was fantastic. Maybe not for him, but it was good for her ego. It's not really much of an anything chapter. You do get to see that they're close though, and that he wants differently for her. He wants her to live her life, which is exactly what she thinks she's doing. But he also wants her to live her life in a way that makes her happy instead of what she's doing, which is punishing herself. And I appreciated that. I appreciated their relationship. And I feel like even though he's not on the screen for very long, or on the page rather, why do I always feel like it's a movie? I see it in my mind. Even though he's not there for very long, you do get this sense of how close they are and how much he loves her, how much she loves him. And it makes, at least for me, it made her actions through the book sensible because everything she's kind of doing is I need to find my brother. 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 And she doesn't care about anything else as long as she finds her brother. And I think this chapter really kind of sets the stage for that. Shout out to Jules. I like him. He's sweet.
Mm,
What?
mm.
You don't like Jules?
Jules, I had a sus list and he was high on my sus list.
Okay, so I understand that eventually we can paint him with that brush, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in chapter two, you felt like that about him?
No, no, in chapter
Okay.
two, I didn't. It started around about three and four, but
Okay.
actually chapter four. Um, chapter two shows the true brother sister um anatomy. I love that bond that they had. And once she found out that he was act missing out of action, it was like she stepped up to be like the older sister. I gotta find my brother because I don't know what's going on. This is unlike him. So
Yes.
I think that's the reason why I fell in love with August. I can give two flips about what you say. I felt like all her motives was for her brother, hella high water.
Exactly. They absolutely were. She does have this sense of, I think her sense of loyalty is probably one of my favorite things about her. Once she decides that she's doing something and it's for somebody, that just is what it is. She's locked in. She's going to do whatever she has to do to help whoever she has to help. And we see that a dozen times over in the book. So I do appreciate that. And it does start with her brother. But that's pretty much all chapter 2 is. In chapter 3 we hear about somebody named Bailey, and I couldn't remember who the heck Bailey was for the longest time, but that's apparently her aunt. And the coolest thing about her aunt is that she lives in a tiny house village. I really love that for her. I wish I lived in a tiny house village. I'm very sad about it. But she avoids her. She gets these phone calls from her. She's avoiding her. Jules is telling her, you need to answer the phone when she calls you, things like that. So even before we know who Bailey is, we know that she's somebody who probably cares about August. And that's why she is actively avoiding her. Because August's favorite thing to do is avoid people, places, and things.
I think it's because she feel like she's gonna fail them just because she failed her mother. So the best thing to not bring get anybody's hopes and dreams all high. I just rather avoid doing anything that could cause me to fail, cause her to fail, I should say.
Yeah, it's that age old battle between perfection and good enough. And I think you're right. I think she used to try her best to be perfect, and when that failed, which it always was going to anyway, but when it did, she felt like there was nothing that she could ever do. And she skipped right over the fact that you don't have to be perfect, you just have to be good enough. You just have to do your best, whatever that is. And she did not. But that's not entirely her fault because her parents did push a level of exceptionalism onto their children where
Correct.
they didn't want them to be good enough. They wanted them to be perfect. Jules is, I feel like he's a little bit better at it, at pretending to to be perfect, but he also has his reasons. So I guess I get it.
I feel like with Jules, it's really hard to kind of talk about him without jumping ahead too far.
True.
Um,
He's not there for very long.
yeah, like in order to really talk about Jules and what we think about him, and you know, we would have to really go further into the book and bring up those points. And I don't know if we're ready to do that or not.
We are definitely not ready to do that yet. Where we're going right now. We're in chapter 4 is when she ends up on Sandy Bay. And they must have said Sandy Bay in this book. Oh my God, it was so many times. But they end up on Sandy Bay because that's where her aunt lives. And Virgil goes with her. So what we don't see is Virgil wanting to talk to August about her particular set of knife throwing skills because in the park, and what we don't talk about with August and her agency is the fact that she has to defend herself in the park, and she uses a knife to do that against three really stupid boys and disgusting boys, by the way. And Virgil sees this and he wants her to help him with something, which goes back to what Candace was talking about with the with everybody being suspicious, because he doesn't tell her what he needs her help with. He just asks her to help him, which is some bullshit because he absolutely should have been at least a little bit honest with her. But so what do y'all think about Virgil and his lies? I tried to find a nice way to say that, but he just lies.
I think in his mind it made sense because it's kind of like I need to gauge how much she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see she has this skill, and this is not a skill that most people would have. So why do you have this skill? Do you know what I know? Or is this
Agreed.
just something you learned? So I guess him not initially saying anything about the why of him approaching her and wanting to work with her, it could have just been I need to see where you land
Mm-hmm.
with this. Because if I don't, and you don't know anything about this, which she didn't, then I'm just gonna come across as some lunatic.
True. And I like that because right after that, she is about to get all the proof that she will ever need.
Oh, big facts.
Because when they are on Sandy Bay, I think it's an island. I don't know. You have to take a ferry to get to it. So I think it's an island. They get attacked by this monster thing. August is supposed to get down, let Virgil protect her, but that's not who she is. She doesn't let anybody protect her generally. She is one of those I'm gonna do it myself type of people, which I think we all know somebody like that. Somebody you can't offer to help them with anything. And if they ask you for help, you better do it right then because they will never ask you again if you don't get to. After their encounter with the rabbit Easter bunny thing, he completely turns on her, y'all. He goes from, I want you to help me with this thing, and I think you have a, particular set of skills and blah, 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 to actually, I'm cool on you. You don't listen. You're stubborn. There's no way that I could ever work with you. In about 2 seconds flat.
I think that's fair though, because obviously
Because
she
you
doesn't.
hate August.
No, no. It's like obviously she doesn't know why he's pursuing her and what he wants her help with. She doesn't know that, but he does. And he knows what it takes in order to have that type of relationship to, you know, bring her on his side and bring her on to his team. And you have to be willing to cooperate with said partner. You have to be willing to listen. You have to be willing to take direction. And she didn't do any of that. Now, in her defense, because I do not know you, I do not know why you are following me around because that's essentially what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Um, of course, I'm going to take matters into my own hands because I don't know you and I don't trust you and I don't trust anybody. So
At
I
all.
kind of understand why he was like, you know what? Yeah, no, this ain't gonna work.
I don't blame him, but I also feel like it is a little bit unfair to ask a stranger to let you protect them. Why should I believe that you will protect me? Especially if I know that I can protect myself. So I didn't quite understand why he was so upset with her when you don't know her, she doesn't know you, and y'all are in this kind of life or death situation, and you expect her to put her faith in you. Why?
It could have also been more so of not necessarily him being upset with her. It may have come out that way, but it could have
Hmm.
also been a disappointment. Like, damn, I really thought that we could kind of work together. This is evidence that it may not work, and now I have to go on this hunt and search for somebody else, and it just presented itself as frustration. You know, like how a lot of the times depression may present itself as anger.
Hmm.
I think it's possible that that was the case of it all, but I don't, if that's not the case, right, then I don't think it's fair for him to get super upset with her because at the end of the day, she's a girl. Like, you know, we have to move, we as women have to move a little different in this world and in this space. So
Hmm. I do like that about August actually because she kind of refuses to move as girls are expected to move. I like that. It's not always the smartest thing, but I do just like that she refuses to do that. She's like, yeah, I'm not trying to hear all that. And it kind of makes sense for her overall character arc because eventually she's gonna have to step up. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And we're gonna get there. But apparently, in chapter 4 is when Jules goes missing. I thought we had him for a little bit longer. They got him up out of there quick. Okay.
It really goes to show how much she kept him alive throughout the book that he's gone
Yes.
so early. Like he's one of those off page characters that feel like they're actually there, and I like that. That was well done.
It was. It really was because in chapter 4 is when she finds out that he's gone. I thought we had him for at least a chapter or two more. But no, we don't. He up out of here. He leaves a note for his sister, and in her distress, she's not thinking clearly because her and her brother have a way of communicating, which involves these pins that you like with the that like invisible ink shit, and you can see it only under certain conditions. And she's not thinking about it when her brother goes missing that maybe he left her a message. She's just thinking about the fact that first my mom is gone, and now my only real constant in my life, my brother, is also gone, and I don't know what to do. But when she does figure it out, she finds out that he has left her a message telling her that monsters are indeed real and that she needs to avoid them. And of course, August being who August is, she's going to do the exact opposite of that. And so that is how it ends up with her looking for Virgil the same way that Virgil was initially looking for her. I actually really like that part of the book because it turns the tables, and now she has to convince a guy to work with her that she was initially only trying to convince to leave her the hell alone. And I like that. You know, that's nice. I just like to see my girl in these in positions that actually force her to humble herself and ask for things because she's not that character.
Hmm.
She does not want to be that girl. But in chapter 5, we have August. She looks for Virgil. She goes back to the house where she first met him. And it's like this big, old, beautiful Victorian, the way that it's described. I think it's yellow. And she knocks on the door, feels like a library inside. And this is where we meet another of my favorite characters, Corey. I love her. What do y'all think about Corey? Do y'all like her? I love her.
She's cool. I enjoy Corey. Really did.
I liked her. She gave like the annoying little sister vibe when it came to Virgil a little bit.
She did.
She was like a nice relief to the story in my opinion. So yeah, I enjoyed her character. I liked her initially.
She was. I love
That the
her.
one who was doing the research on something, and she was like, "You didn't even care."
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay. OJ, I got to remind me. I'm old.
You didn't even care. She did say that at some point. Poor baby. But they weren't paying my girl no attention, and she had some stuff she was trying to say. We meet. Oh shit, we actually meet a couple people because we meet Corey, and then we meet Bernie, who is this teacher and tutor. He's at the house at the same time as August is visiting, and we learn about his son Davy, who apparently was a monster, and I think he turned too quickly before they could do this competition that we're going to be getting into, and he didn't have a partner. So apparently he died, I think. And Bernie, it was recent, like it was within a calendar year. So Bernie is still grieving. He's wearing Hawaiian shirts even though it's not summertime. And he's just walking around looking sad. Everybody's grieving in this book. There's a lot of sadness in this book now that I'm thinking about it. This is around the time that August basically has to beg Virgil. And I never thought that she would be in this position. He does tell her about how dangerous, quote unquote, how dangerous the competition is when they talk. When she asks him about joining up and about this competition that he was mentioning and everything like that, because she thinks it's the way that she can find out what happened to her brother and if the society, which is the Learner Society, what they know. And he's initially against it because she's stubborn. She doesn't listen. She doesn't take direction well. Pretty much everything, everything that we've said about her thus far. And he does not think that that will lend itself very well to the competition. And he does tell her that it's going to be dangerous and she's going to have to listen, at least enough to act within the rules, right? I don't know who he thought he was talking to, but it's like, okay, buddy, whatever. He ain't trying to hear that. But he also doesn't tell her what's really going on. And again, Virgil is sus. And I think this is kind of where it goes from just being sus to kind of being shitty because she knows that monsters exist. Why are you not telling her everything now? This is the moment to tell her everything when she's asking and she already has the knowledge. So why do y'all think he doesn't tell her the truth?
I think he, like anybody, is like, if I tell her the truth, she's gonna be like, fuck no. And he also can't let on how bad he needs it, right?
Okay.
So it's like, if I tell her everything and she knows how bad I need it, she ain't gonna do this because she don't know me. But because she needs her brother and I can just dangle a little bit at a time, she'll agree because she need her brother.
So it's a little bit of manipulation.
A lot of bit of a manipulation.
Oh my God, look at him not being a cinnamon roll.
So,
Damn it, Virgil.
or like licorice.
Ugh.
I even think that he could be, besides being sus, but I think he could be working, being a part of a puppet master or a lead or just, what's the right word I'm trying
You
to
think
say?
he's being manipulated by somebody else?
There you go.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that. Because Virgil seems like the type to be easily manipulated, to be honest. I love him, but he do seem like the type that you could just lead around by his nose.
Um, I think it will also be fair to acknowledge the fact that this is his first time dealing with this situation as well, because he never had a partner from what, if I remember the story correctly, he was never able to participate because everybody pretty much shunned him for what his parents did, and they low-key wanted him to just be dead anyway. So I'm guessing just to give a little bit of benefit of the doubt, it's just more, maybe it's not, maybe it wasn't done 100% on purpose, but it's also done out of ignorance of how do I maneuver this? How do I get this girl to come on my side and join me in conquering this shit? You know what I mean? So maybe that played a part in it as well. The only thing about it though is that with August, I feel like her being the person that she is, and based off of the short encounters that they had previously to this conversation, he should have known to just be 100% real with her. He didn't necessarily have to come out and be like, I need you to help me. I'm so desperate. He didn't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But he really could have educated her on why this is important, why he does need her help, why this relationship could be beneficial to the both of them, because of course she wants to find her brother. and
Yep.
he wants to, you know, is it like move up in this
He
society?
wants to he wants the ability to survive and maintain his humanity. That's what it is.
Got it. Okay.
That's what it
Couldn't
is.
remember. I couldn't remember what the point was.
Yeah, for Virgil, he is because what you learn is that there are masters and there are monsters. And again, shout out to my girl Lizelle because anytime black people hear anything where it's like masters, we are already like, that ain't gonna work. And August is again, she's standing in for us, the audience, and she has that reaction too, like masters. There, why would y'all even want to be a part of a system where y'all have masters? She's asking all the necessary questions, first of all. So I'm gonna give her credit for that. But he absolutely should have known that he could be truthful with her, like you said, because she was all in already. She has her own reasons to be here with you. And what we learn is that there are masters, which is what he wants her to train to be. And there are monsters, which are innate. They're born that way or they can be turned. But something happens in like their genetic code or whatever where they turn into monsters like the rabbit Easter bunny thing. And he is one of these people. He hasn't completely turned yet, but he's getting close. There's a spiral that kind of happens when you go from being 75% human to more like 50-50. And if he does not bond with a master or a potential master, he will completely lose his humanity. He won't be Virgil walking around, walking, talking. He will be, I think, a monster full time. And that is the thing that he wants to avoid. So that is what he needs her help with. And that is how they end up in a partnership. But August, the little butthead that she is, she agrees to this, of course, but she also has her own motives and her own idea of how things are going to go. She believes that she's going to find whatever happened to her brother and then she's going to skedaddle. She going to leave my boy Virgil high and dry in the lurch. And she says this over and over and over again, y'all. She said it so many times that every time I got just a little bit irritated. I'm like, okay, I heard you. You're gonna abandon him. I got it. But that's her plan. So they have two totally different plans. He's like, yeah, we're gonna bond and we're gonna be bonded forever because this is like a life or death thing.
Can I say that that just hurt my little Hufflepuff heart? Like, how dare you? You disloyal son of a gun. You grimy. I ain't like that. I ain't like that. I didn't mind it like in the very beginning because we don't know this man. But after you
Mm-hmm.
got to know him more and more and y'all doing this stuff together and you still talking about leaving him, nah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I'm
It
for real.
was.
I ain't like that.
It
You
was
know.
terrible. It
that
was so
played a
bad.
that played a whole role in why I really didn't care for her that much because how you okay with just doing that like after the conversation he did reveal some information, right? Like he revealed I guess enough for her to get an idea of how this would go possibly, and why her role would be important for him.
Mm-hmm.
And for her to just listen to all of that and listen to his story, because I think he even opened up about his parents in that moment.
Yes.
Like after hearing all of that shit, you still like, fuck all that. I'm ghosting you when I get what I want. Yeah, nah.
Yeah, she is selfish. She is selfish and she's short-sighted as well because she agrees to things without thinking about what she's agreeing to as well. She wants what she wants and she's just like, yeah, I can agree to this and then I can dip. I don't think that if she had been successful with this and still decided to leave. I don't even think she could do that. I don't even think it works like that. There's once you're like paired with this person, you're paired with them. She couldn't, you can't just undo it, but she's not thinking clearly at all. She is not thinking even two steps ahead. She just knows this guy can help me find my brother. I'm going to agree to anything to find him, basically. And, she gets herself into something that she literally cannot get herself out of.
I thought she was talking about leaving him before he even got that far.
Oh, yeah, she absolutely was.
Okay, so she never planned on even bonding with him, really.
No,
No,
no, ma'am.
her plan was always, I'm only going to go as far in this as I have to
To say,
find my brother.
mhm.
And as soon as I find him, I'm up out of here.
Peace
And she
out,
was
Girl Scout.
the thing that I found interesting was that she really was confident that she would find her brother before he even got that far.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if you don't find your brother before this bonding ceremony thingy take place?
But hold up, can we back up and say that again? I feel that Virgil knew that her brother was taken or had something to do with monsters. I still feel in my heart
No, he
that
didn't know. I don't think he knew.
I still feel my heart that Virgil knew that the brother
Oh my
had some
God.
type of monster.
I think he knew something when he saw the letter, right? Like he had to know something as soon as he saw the letter that she
He knew that
showed.
he was involved in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knew that he had to be involved in some way because you don't get normal people don't just get those letters.
Right.
So he knew he was involved. And I mean, August also knew that he was involved because of that letter that he got. Yeah, I don't know. Virgil was he was hiding a lot. Even when he would open up to her, he was still hiding entirely too much. And she was also scheming entirely too much, as if, as if you can't just undo things.
Have we brought up the other scheming Black Student Union girl?
Not
Stalker girl?
yet. We have not gotten to her yet. But I did have a list of characters that we had met so far. And so far, we have met Sammy. We've heard about Riley, but we haven't met her yet. Who else? August, Jules, Virgil, Corey, Bernie, Davy, Mia. And we're about to meet Margot and Isaac. Damn. Bailey. We also met her too. So there's a lot of people so far.
Ugh.
But I know you're.
Too many.
That was my struggle with this book.
I was about to say when there's like a list of characters, we lose Danny.
100%. That was my struggle with this book. It's so many people you getting introduced to, and everybody has their own like little personality that you kind of have to remember. And ugh.
It
And
was
this
that
is
one part when I was like closer to the end. There was this one character and they were just niggling at me, and I was just like, "Who is this again? What is this connection again?"
That
Because something about you don't. I'm not saying who it is right now, of course, but I'm like, something about you. Some of the milk ain't clean. You just popping up too much for me. Who are you? What is the connection? I even asked, like, reached out to a couple of people, like, who is who? And nobody said it, but I would just like to share that I was correct in my thinking. But as soon as I got there, I was like, now wait a minute now. It's just it was too much to keep up with, like you said, Danny, the backgrounds. Like everybody got their own backstory. You're right. You're right. I agree with you there.
it
listen.
was just it was just mind numbing for me because it's like I'm checking out. It's too many of y'all. I feel claustrophobic. So many of y'all are here.
I think anybody who likes to read a lot of fantasy on a regular basis What you will learn, at least one thing, write down them character names.
Hmm.
Write them down somewhere because you're about to meet so many people, especially if it's a series. You're about to meet so many people because you might even meet people in book one that are not important until book two. It's ridiculous, but I just started writing them down because even I was confused. I couldn't remember who Isaac was for the longest time. He kept popping up, and I was like, who is that? It's Marco's brother.
Who? Okay.
Exactly. So after Virgil and August agree to work together, they start training immediately, which kind of puts August back in the headset of being with her mom because one of the expectations of exceptionalism that her mom was drilling into her was to be ready, to be ready to fight, to have like those reaction times where something happens and your body reacts even if your mind does not react the same way, to be able to defend yourself. So it puts her back in that mindset, and she also has to go and enroll in what, Queen's University, I think it's called.
Yep.
And she's kind of going back to the exact life that she was running away from, but this time she has no choice. If she wants to find her brother, she has to enroll in school. She has to go to class. She actually has to do well. She has to push herself physically in order to participate in this competition. And she has to do all of these things in order to get the help to find her damn brother. And that's when we meet Margot and Isaac, a master and a monster. Our very first, like, young master monster pair. I'm so excited. I love them so much. Margot is a bitch. And I love her because she balances out August so well. Whereas August don't take no shit, Margot don't take no shit either. And every time they're on the page together, you can feel that I'm not just gonna let you do whatever you want to do, and you're not just gonna let me do whatever I want to do. And it's explosive. I love them together. It's so heated from the very beginning because Margot doesn't even understand why Virgil chose this girl, and how are we supposed to get her ready? And her attitude stank.
I think they butted heads because they were very similar, just in different ways, right? Like they both had this "I don't give a damn" attitude, "fuck your feelings" attitude, but for different reasons. August was like, "Fuck your feelings, I don't give a damn," because I'm just existing at this point. I don't care about anybody. I don't get close to anybody. I have my own agenda. I'm focusing on me, right? Whereas with Margot, it's like, I don't give a fuck, fuck your feelings, because I see the bigger picture and I know what needs to be done in order to accomplish this goal. And I give a damn about the people who I care about. You know what I mean? So I
Hmm.
think that's why they really got into it heavily, because they're more similar than they think, just in different ways.
They are. And I think for anybody that dislikes August, Margot is almost a breath of fresh air because she gets in that ass every chance she gets.
She was for me. I appreciate it, Margot.
Every time.
She did not let up on August, and I was here for every moment.
I love their relationship. If you could even call it a relationship,
It was something.
it was most definitely something. It was adversarial, is what it was. I loved it though, because August needs that. She runs circles around Virgil and Corey. She just does. Because they try to tell her what to do. They try to come at her with all that soft, lovey dovey peace, we are the world BS. And she's like, yeah, I ain't trying to hear all that. I know what I'm here for. But with Margot, she can't do that because Margot's not coming to her with kumbaya. Margot is coming at her with, if you don't do what I say, you're gonna die. So what we doing? And that's what she needs. That is what gets her off of her ass. Thank you. I appreciate it. I love Margot and I love her brother. He is another cinnamon roll. You have a lot of those characters where there's one mean one and one really sweet one. I like that. Anyway, in chapter 6, after they do a little bit of training and August gets to see that Isaac is a big scary monster thing, she learns that this competition that she, signed up for all willy-nilly without thinking at all is far more dangerous than Virgil let on. Because one, she's entering a society where there are monsters and there are also known and unknown monsters. So there's not only the monsters that are connected to the society that are controlled, and regulated, like watched over, things like that. But there are also unknown monsters. So there are outside monsters that she could encounter at any time for any reason. She's also going to have to pair with a monster. That's when she, learns about Virgil and why he can hear the way he can, why his senses are the way that they are, because, surprise, surprise, he is a monster. And he needs her to pair up with him. She didn't know that he was going to be, making that switch like that. For some reason, I don't know what was going on with August, but she wasn't putting two and two together all the time to really understand that, girl, Virgil is one of these. He looks like you right now, but at some point he's gonna look like one of these. And for whatever reason, that she wasn't getting it, but she understands now because she gets to see Isaac transform. She gets to see him go from being a boy to a monster. And I think that's important because her only interaction so far with monsters has been one who had already transformed. She didn't ever get to see it be a person and then be a monster. And this changes that for her. She also learns that in this competition, she's going to be fighting against monsters like Virgil, like Isaac, like the Easter Bunny, and her fellow competitors who have been training longer than her, who have been a part of the society, most of them for their entire lives, like Virgil and Corey. They've always known about monsters. They've always known about the bond between, masters and monsters. They've known this their whole life. They've grown up in this. The only outsiders are August, Margot, and Isaac. So again, there's something that those two have in common. But yeah, she finally realizes that this is not going to be a walk in the park, and that this whole I'm just trying to find my brother thing could actually lead to her being in some very serious danger, and that the society she's doing this to be a part of, they will not help her. They don't step in. I feel like with them it's a bit of Darwinism. It's survival of the fittest. If you can't fight, if you can't survive, then it's because you weren't meant to. So what do y'all think about that?
Yes, I agree with you. Totally.
Uh, I don't think I have any thoughts on it.
Can we go back to how Isaac turned into a dog? When,
Sure.
I'm sorry, I have to say that was like, what the hell? He
Mm-hmm.
turned into a dog, dude? Because Virgil was trying to, Margot was like, hey, we need to show her what she's really going to be up against. And he turned into a dog. I was like, oh, hell, he's a dog. But I'm going to say this because Margot was on my sus list too, dude. But I'm going to leave it just like that. I'm going to leave it just right there for right now.
You doubted my girl?
Yeah, dude. I mean, come on.
Doubted my girl? How? I'm distraught.
Why? I mean, she know what she's doing. Why she's not further ahead versus what?
Because she just competed last year. She can't be further because she hasn't. Listen, we don't
Dude,
even know about the Monsters Ball yet, and she
let's
ain't
wait.
competed.
Let's wait. Let's wait. Cause I say she's sus.
She is not.
She's sus, dude. That's all. I have a whole sus list. But keep on going.
It feels like everybody's on it.
Some of everybody's on it, but Isaac didn't make it on it. But yes, she's sus.
It feels like everyone's on the list. Okay, that's fine. You know what? I'm gonna let you have this. I don't appreciate it, but I'm gonna let you have it. In chapter 7, we meet Henry. Now, if you want to talk about sus, here is the king of suspicion. Henry, who is, I think he's like Virgil and Corey's kind of mentor. Margot's also. He is kind of the one who picked and pulled them all out of whatever positions they were in before to kind of be on this team of people that he's building. He is the person that I was suspicious of, that I remain suspicious of, and I don't think I will ever trust Henry. Ever.
I agree. I totally agree with you on that one.
He is so slimy.
He's a puppet master.
He
The
is.
puppet master.
He really is. If there was a puppet master, it would absolutely be Henry's old bitch ass. I can't stand him.
I promise you that that was the guy that I was like, who is this again? Like, where did he come from? Like, what was his story? Like, what's his connection? Like, he just popped up too many times and it made me uncomfortable. Like, he made
Yes.
the hair on the back of my neck stand up,
Yes.
Yes.
made my beard grow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
No.
He's
No, not the
horrible.
beard, not the beard growing. But yeah. Yeah.
He's horrible. And August don't like him either. Because when they first meet up, everybody's telling her to go in there and to be nice and,
Mm-hmm.
to bow down to Henry, kiss the ring, as it were. And she does not do that at all. And it does not go well at all. She don't like him, and he don't like her either. And I love it. I'm glad because somebody needs to tell Henry about himself. And for whatever reason, August is apparently the character who tells everybody about themselves. And then she has to meet a couple people to tell her about herself as well. But we'll get to them. I hated Henry. Danny, did you hate Henry? Do you remember who Henry is?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
We are gonna leave you right where you are, okay?
Okay.
The next time we read a fantasy book, I'm just gonna keep a list of characters and send them out to y'all. So what happens after this is now that um now that August has decided she's gonna help Virgil and she started training to help him, she still has to be nominated, y'all. Which is the crazy part because she's doing all of this, has agreed to do all of this, and she might not even be nominated. Henry can't nominate her because he nominated Margot last year, and Margot hasn't completed like her training to be a full master yet. So I don't think that I think that's why he can't do it. So someone else has to do it, and he is working with people behind the scenes, pulling strings as he always fucking does. Can't stand him, but whatever. The nominations are coming up, and we have to find somebody to nominate my girl August. What do y'all think about the hoops that people have to jump through just in order to endanger themselves and potentially die?
I pass. I totally pass. Because it's not worth it. Mm-mm. Not to die. Not to die.
I
No, not to die.
actually really like it because I am someone who loves competition books, you know, where the characters have to fight for whatever reason, usually to the death and things like that. And I like those, but I've always been like, I need there to be a reason for people to do this, you know? And a lot of the times what happens in these books is they're chosen just haphazardly, you know? I'm not volunteering for this. I'm being chosen. My name is being pulled out of a hat, or you know, the a spinner landed on my name. Things like that. And I feel like in this book, what Lizelle does is she makes the competitors work for it. If you want to be a part of this competition, if you want the powers that come with being a master, you have to work hard. We're not just going to hand it to you. I appreciate that because it feels like there are real stakes there. And I really love the competition aspect of this just because it's not your usual, we chose you, so you have to do this. No, these people are signing up for this for, you know, a million and one different reasons. Prestige, this is what the family does, this is what I was raised for, I need to find my brother, whatever the case may be. But they actually have to fight to be a part of the competition.
I did like it. It reminded me a lot of the Hunger Games
I was here to say that.
and a lot of the different types of competitions. I actually put in my notes, I'm gonna pull it out, but I even compared one of them to Kato. I was like, oh, Kato ass. He
Oh
said
my
this
God,
one.
I know who you're talking about.
I literally wrote it down.
That's absolutely who I thought of too.
So yeah, it reminded me of that. And it also reminded me of that one dumb book that I read. It was supposed to be like a competition and or a puzzle book or something. And they didn't ever do nothing. They was all in the house the whole time.
You're talking about
It was like a green book. Inheritance
the
games.
inheritance. Yes.
Oh,
The
yeah, I
inheritance
remember
games.
that.
And I was just like, yeah, see, this is a competition. This is a real competition. That was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
Yes.
I like that.
Damn, I forgot about the inheritance games. Not like it's hard to
I
do, but
wish I could. I wish.
I wish you could too, because I'm so glad that I don't have that anywhere just sitting in my brain. That shit was trash. Anyway, um, at the table for this nomination ceremony, one of my favorite things is the fact that August realizes she's sitting at a table full of public enemies. Ain't nobody at this table liked by anybody else in the society at large. So you have her, Corey, Virgil, Margot, Isaac. Nobody really messes with these people. They're like public enemy number 1 through 5. They're all outsiders in one way or another, and there's a lot of hostility toward them. You don't find out everything that happened, but you do find out that Corey is like a certified washout, um, because she participated in the competition and she failed. And that's also how she lost her leg and several of her fingers. Which, shout out to the disability rep. But that's one hell of a way to lose your limb. Again, which is something that, you know, August, Jules would have had to find himself, because I'm not competing in anything where they're like, yeah, you might, you know, one of these monster things, it might eat your leg, but it's fine. Cause did you die? Did y'all notice that? Did y'all pick up on the fact of how serious this is?
I did. And I was like, y'all got me fucked up. And I'm doing this for what?
To find your brother.
I mean, he did tell me to leave and go away, though.
He did.
He did.
He literally told you not to do the thing you're doing.
He literally told me to stay away. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't, no. I want to believe that I would do whatever I had to do to find my brother, but this is asking a lot. This is asking a bit much. The whole I could lose my limb singing. I don't know. That's just, there's something about that that just doesn't work for me as a concept. Oh, so there's another thing that's happening in this book. There's so much going on right now. We find out that the leader of this group, the doctorate, as you know, as it's called, the doctorate, is someone who has the power to control all the monsters. They can control more than one, which is something that most masters cannot do. They have tried it. It has cost them. Um, it makes, I believe it makes the master like really sick, and they can't actually control the monsters the way that they need to. You know, they can't do it with much accuracy. It kills them basically slowly in a very not so fun way. So the doctorate has more power than, you know, the rest of the masters, and they don't have to bond with monsters in order to control them, which is again something that masters have to do. You can't just control any monster. You can control the monster that you're paired with, but that's it. So that is a large difference between just the doctorates and the, you know, the masters that are beneath them. So we have this hierarchy in the book, which is so evident. You have the doctorate at the top, you have the masters underneath them, and you have a bunch of other people, and then at the very bottom you have the monsters. But the monsters are the ones with the power. The monsters are the ones that give the masters their powers, but somehow they ended up at the bottom. Now, ain't that like something? What does that remind you of?
This country. Sorry.
No, I think that's accurate.
This country.
I definitely think that's accurate. Power to the people, as they say, right? But if you align all of your power behind someone and you don't use it, you give it to them to use it, then it makes you powerless in a way. I was getting a lot of that. I enjoyed it because it felt, for, you know, for a fantasy book, it felt rooted in reality, which I always appreciate. But also it reminded me of, obviously it's gonna remind you of slavery, right? Because you even have like the master title. You get your crops from, you know, your slaves, quote unquote. You are making all of this money because of your slaves. Like, you don't have to pay people to work your land because of your slaves, to clean your houses, to birth your babies, to take care of your babies, to make your food, to make your clothes, to do all of these things. And you get this power from these people. And it's like they've been in this bottom position for so long that they don't realize that the power is coming from them in the first place. And I like that because that is so very much like our society. So I appreciated that. What did y'all think about the this whole doctorate thing? There's a lot happening in the book. Did it feel like it took you out of the story at all?
No, but I felt like it was cult. I got cult vibes. That's what I felt. A little.
August also called it a cult quite a bit. She said that several times. She was like, and y'all don't think this is a cult.
Yeah, it really felt like Kenna said, cultish. Like you're talking about this doctorate, but y'all are indoctrinated. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's believing in it. And then of course you have the people who are against what they say. It felt like the cool kids and the uncool kids, and then the cool kids who really aren't cool kids. They just think they are cool. You know?
Agreed. Oh God, there's even more characters being introduced. You have some guy named Chorus. Yeah, Chorus, he's a master and he participates in the candidacy, which is what this competition is called. It's called the candidacy, and none of the nominees have ever gotten past him. So that is something that, you know, August learns, and she learns when you're going against him, if you make it that far, don't try and go against him. Nobody's ever gotten past him. Okay. And then we have Natalie Sear, who is like this. She is described as like a gorgeous black woman, by the way. She is somebody who is a leader of a faction. Y'all, they introduce so many things. There are factions. There's like three of them. The ones that believe masters should be in charge, ones that believe that masters and monsters should be equal, and then ones that believe that monsters are the natural evolution and they should be in charge. That's pretty much what the three groups are, and Natalie is in that third category. She believes that monsters are a natural progression and that they should not be controlled. So these are, again, people that are seen as outliers in the society, and these are the people that August, she's meeting them, she's talking to them, she's having a more friendly dynamic with them, and of course it's making the rest of the society as a whole look at her a certain way. And we meet the three candidates for the doctorate because we learn, I don't know if we learn it right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and spill the beans. We learn that the doctorate is dead and there needs to be a succession. The doctorate has three sons, and usually one of them would have the doctorate abilities, and it will be clear who is supposed to, who's supposed to lead next. But all three of his sons have shown, a proclivity toward the doctorate abilities, and now we are about to have, on top of everything, an election because we needed more stuff. Oh, also, before I forget, apparently there's an apocalypse too, because what they're fighting is the apocalypse. The reason that they're doing all this and they're pairing the masters with the monsters is so that when the apocalypse comes, they have more masters than monsters and they can fight them or something. I don't know. But yeah, so there's an apocalypse, there's a candidacy, there's an election, and there's three doctorates to choose from. There are factions. There's this society, and we haven't gotten to it yet, but there's also another society that we haven't even fucking talked about. There's so much happening in this book. So great. This book is so long. This book is so long.
It was so long that I was intimidated to even start it.
I remember, but you got through it and you did so well.
It was
Two
a great
times
book.
speed, two times speed is the lifesaver.
Great book. Everybody was sus to an extent.
I'm
True.
sitting over here quiet because I don't remember much of anything that happened in this book. And I was lost a lot of the time. I could not remember who the fuck these people were, except for your obvious main characters. I could remember them. Oh yeah, that's why I'm not saying much right now.
I figured as much.
I'm listening
I,
and I'm
I
trying to remember stuff, but you know.
there's
You
so
know,
much going on.
it is. And that's why I was like, make sure you kind of jog my memory. But I enjoyed it.
I'm glad. I enjoyed it too. But there it was, whew, this is not one of those beginner books. Cause she put so much into it. It's just like, yep, keep up.
hmm
And I don't know. Without my notes, I don't know if I would be able to do all that.
You know how like with some books
Yes.
you can kind of
Yes.
read them and you don't have to you don't have to sit and stare at the wall to really comprehend what the hell is happening. You can kind of pick up the plot as it goes without being super duper invested. Yeah, you can't do that shit with this book.
Mm.
No. Because you're liable to miss any and everything
Right. And it happens so quickly. So,
very quickly to the point where I was repeating it twice just to make sure I heard what I heard. And I was read because I was reading and listening, reading with my eyeballs and reading with my ears to make sure I wasn't missing nothing because I had a lot of stuff highlighted. I was writing. Yeah.
Y'all, when I tell you I had to repeat certain chapters because I was like, wait, what happened?
And this was a reread for you. So what hope is there for me? Oh my God. I was on the struggle bus.
Ooh, and the bus was struggle. It's crazy because I kind of want to do this to y'all again with my final book of the year.
Oh God.
I just know that one day Danny's gonna murder me in my sleep, and it's gonna be fine.
Nightmare.
So anyway, the doctorate candidates, just in case you needed some more names, are Adam, James, and Kerrigan Shaw. Just, put that somewhere and hold that in your brain. Um, they usually don't show up to these things, but they're here now and blah blah blah. Okay, chapter 9. Uh James Shaw. What is he talking about? Oh, I think he's doing one of those speeches, you know, where he's trying to talk about what he wants the society to be. I believe he's one of the conservatives and he wants to keep things as they are, stick to the status quo. He wants the masters on top and the monsters on the bottom. I believe Adam, like he wants equality between the masters and the monsters. And then you have the other brother, Kerrigan, I believe, who represents that other faction, but we're not 100% sure about him. We don't really know what he represents, just that he has been doing like genetic research on monsters and, either how to stop monsters from existing or how to release them from the need of a master pairing. I'm not 100% sure, but he is suspicious as hell to me. And I think he's suspicious to August too, because she don't really trust him. She think, like something's not right with him. And I don't think so either. Chapter 10. We have to get August's nomination. And I believe it's Adam who nominates her, and Adam is friends with Henry because Henry grew up in the house with the Shaw brothers, and he was favored by their dad, the dead doctorate dude. He was favored by him, but he did not have the doctorate ability, so he could never be that. And I think that's kind of Henry's whole thing, too. He couldn't be the leader, so he's like the puppet master from behind, like the kingmaker for presidents, the person who can make or break your presidency, like that kind of thing, or at least the idea of a person like that. I think that's what Henry is. He can kind of make or break you as a doctorate, and he's very manipulative in that way. So I think that's what he does.
So he's Cyrus Bean.
Yes, he is Cyrus Bean.
Okay, now I can see you. All right.
Yes, that's what I get from him. See, just keep that keep that in your mind. But after that, we learn about the competition, and the competition is a little bit crazy. You have, I think it's in 3 stages. Yeah, it's 3 stages. First, you have to connect you and your monster person. Y'all have to connect, and then there's a maze. And this gave me Harry Potter vibes. But it also reminded me of another book that we read. Y'all remember when we read their vicious, what is it? Their vicious oaths? Their vicious
They're vicious
games?
games.
Okay, y'all remember the maze in that. Please tell me y'all remember the maze in that.
Yes.
Okay. This reminded me of that so much. So that's the second stage of the competition. And then you have the third competition, which is essentially a race, but the higher ups wouldn't even do anything about it. because they expect people to get hurt in this competition. This quote: once you've gone through the initiation, which is the bonding process, you'll have made the connection to allow Virgil to maintain control. At the ceremony after initiation, you're officially given the title of Bachelor. You don't get a master title until you competed at the Monsters Ball. Then you're a master in training like Margot. And once you've defended your title in a second round of the Monsters Ball, that's when you become a full-fledged master. And after 5 years, you're considered senior. So that is how long
That's a long ass time.
this is gonna take. Uh-uh. Right then and there, I'm gonna have to bow out. Virgil, brother, it's been cool. I'm so sorry that you're probably gonna turn into a monster and die, but I can't help you. I can't help you. Would y'all help him in that situation? Because at this point, that's when I have to say no. Because this is a long-term commitment, lifetime commitment. After all of this, August moves on to campus, and this is kind of when we learn more about her background with her parents and the life that her parents wanted her to have. They always wanted her to go to this college, or really expected her to go to this college, and that was what she had expected too. She had expected to live up to her parents' very high expectations of her. And when that didn't work, she just kind of scrapped all of those dreams. But now, because of this competition, she is living on campus. Like I said, she is enrolled. She had to do all the things that you have to do when you decide to go to college. And she's kind of living a half and half kind of thing, where she has to dedicate herself to this as much as possible, but she is also of the mindset that she is not staying. So she's kind of trying to skate through it as well. She's like in this in between position where she's doing just enough, that whole thing, but she still believes she's leaving at the end of the day. So she
Right.
ain't trying
But
to do a
she's
whole
going to
lot.
go get her brother.
Yeah. She's trying to go get her brother, wherever he may be.
I gotta get my brother.
The boy that don't want to be found.
I'm gonna keep doing all this work. I'm gonna work out. I'm gonna do. Wait. One other thing that we did not bring up. We never talked about her issues with her body
Mm-hmm.
and the escapism of that. Also, I think that also
Correct.
has a very, very big portion of who she is. So she is trying to, I said it at the beginning, like she's trying to escape by any means necessary. She's escaping everything from the past. But I mean, before she would like count calories and do all this stuff to fit into this body that the world wanted her to have. And the whole I want to fit in. And so now she's like intentionally trying to like stand out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that definitely like plays a part into like her inner psyche. I'm sorry that it just popped up out of nowhere, but I just
Oh
thought
no,
about
you're good. I like that in this book, August is on the larger size. I believe she's like plus size. I don't know exactly how much, but she is plus size. She's a plus size character. But she also doesn't let that stop her from doing anything. The life that she was living before with with her parents and everything, she had been trying to fit into that mold, to be a certain size. Even though it didn't come naturally to her, because we learned that even then she wasn't stick thin, and she was doing everything that you're told to do. Don't take the elevator, take the stairs, don't eat this, eat that. If you have dessert, just eat a portion of it. Let that be enough. You just need enough to get the taste. You don't have to finish the full dessert. Stuff like that, just very toxic things like that, the way of thinking about food and your body and nourishment, all of that stuff. So everything was wrong in that, in the way that she was doing it. And it still wasn't even working to the extent that people tell you it will. She was still struggling. And now she's not, but she is getting used to her larger body and the different ways that people treat her because now she's bigger. What did y'all think about that? Because I know we tend to have some level of sensitivity to that. I forgot all about that. Thank you.
You're welcome. I think she found her strength in letting all of those expectations go. I do think that it's a trigger, like when one of the ladies said something and she's like, "You said that because I'm fat." You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Whoa, whoa, that ain't what I meant." But then she had to think about it, like, okay, that could have come off that way. And
Hmm.
I think that she really stood in her strength about what her body looks like. I don't need someone to tell me. I don't need somebody's validation. This is what I want to do and why I want to do it. I can still, like you said, she can still do those things at this size. That's not
Sorry.
going to stop her. No, you're right. You're good.
No, because I was going to piggyback to what you said because I highlight this quote and she said, "Fatness is the opposite, and people love me more than I hated myself." So it showed that her weight, it did certain times, if you, depending on her mindset, she will let that play on her mind. If the author wouldn't have put it in there that she was fat, I thought she was skinny. Kid you not. Because the way they described her as being beautiful and the way she was wearing certain clothes, to me, I thought she was skinny and beautiful.
But you see how society has us automatically com-
Thinking,
conflating that skinny is beautiful, right? Like you couldn't fathom, oh, she's a big girl and she still look good. You know what I'm saying?
right?
Like it just shows like how fucked up society has it when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
All my characters be black unless they're the villain, and all of them be thick because I'm thick.
I do agree with what Erica and Candace both said about that part of the book and about the representation of a bigger body. And it's true, society itself does place this weird expectation on an assumption on bigger bodies, right? Like we assume as a society that a person who is plus size obviously can't keep up with someone who's more in shape or visibly pleasing. I'm not even gonna say in shape because you can be small and out of shape as fuck, and you can be plus size and fit. You know what I mean? So I do appreciate that the author put that in there because it showed everybody that my body does not limit me and I can do whatever I need to do with the body that I have as long as I put in the work to build up like the stamina and the strength of it, and the
Hmm.
pounds and inches don't matter.
I agree. We see that with August because of course you see like the plus size like visibility and the fact that she does not allow that to stop her from doing anything. She doesn't allow that to stop her from, going out and dancing and feeling good and feeling powerful in her body. She doesn't allow that to get in her way at all. Like the biggest problem that she has when it comes to her body is just her thoughts sometimes. It's either like that little bit of insecurity lingering or it's like anger immediately because she's sensitive about it. I love that we see that with her, but we also see it with Corey because of the disability rep and the fact that Corey doesn't let that stop her from doing anything either. And I appreciate that both characters do it in their own different ways. They show that like that perseverance of just I'm gonna do what I have always been able to do. I might do it differently. I might still be rebuilding back to the strength that I had, but I'm going to get there and then I'm going to surpass that because I'm not letting anything that other people might think limit me. I'm not going to let that limit me. So I fucked with that message.
If I remember correctly, I think in the book when she was talking about the level of fitness that she had. I think she also mentioned the fact of her drinking alcohol and how that more so played a part in
Mm-hmm.
why she was unable to do certain things. And when like she recognized that that was the problem, not necessarily that she's gained weight. It's just more so of like, I'm not able to do certain things yet
Mm-hmm.
because I'm so used to drinking heavily.
Yep, because she had stopped doing all the things she had done with her mom, like the consistent workouts and all of that stuff, and not drinking, not partying, getting sufficient amounts of sleep, all of that stuff. She
Mhm.
stopped doing all of that to, give into her desire to escape, like Erica was saying. And now that she's in this competition, she realized she can't do that anymore. I
Mhm.
can't go out drinking one night and then think I'm gonna compete the next day because I'm about to get my ass handed to me. And she does. Poor friend, but we also learned Corey's story, and I'm going to give y'all the rundown right quick. Corey was born, her brother was a monster, and since the the monster gene tends to skip generations, their parents had her with the like 100% intention for her to pair with her brother. They knew he was a monster. They knew he would need, a master to pair with. So they had another kid immediately. It reminds me of those babies who come into the world to give their siblings organs. It reminded me of that. And it worked for a long time, and she got into the competition early because I believe you have to be 18, but there were allowances made for Corey. She got in when she was what, 16? And it just didn't work. She tried her very best, but once she got to that part of the competition where she had to bond with her brother, it didn't go well. My girl was terrified, and I think she cut off her fingers to give to her brother because in order to pair, there has to be a sacrifice made on both parts, and it's a part of the flesh, which is disgusting. Ew. And again, this is not I couldn't do this because I'm not eating a part of you. It's uncooked. No, I can't even put no seasoning on it. That's nasty. But she cut off her fingers, and that was supposed to be enough. It did not work. She could not pair with this man. He ended up biting her leg off. He bit her leg off, and the only reason he did not kill her is because he was so busy eating her leg as she crawled to safety. And then she was picked up, by the EMTs and everything. But by then, my girl was down several fingers and a fucking leg. Then, because she failed, her brother ended up in the pen, which is this holding place where the monsters go who don't have pairings. They're just down there, and they are cannon fodder basically for the coming apocalypse. So if the apocalypse comes, these are the monsters we're going to send out before everybody else because they're expendable, right? And her brother is down there, and her parents, as she is recovering in the hospital, they come, they visit her, and they're like, yeah, do you want to see your brother? you know that thing that ate your leg, do you want to see him? And that begins the end of their relationship. And also, Corey has PTSD. She does not do well around monsters at all. You can tell that my baby is traumatized, okay? And rightfully fucking so. But she also has a lot of her own issues with her parents because instead of showing concern for her, their priority had always been their son, even at the cost of their daughter. That chapter hit me so hard, y'all. I felt so bad for her. But I love Corey. She's my favorite. What did y'all feel about that? What did y'all think about her parents? And the fact that they had her to basically be some type of anchor baby, some type of donor baby thing.
It made me think about the customs of, I don't know if she was Chinese, Vietnamese,
I believe she's Korean.
Asian, Korean. Okay, it makes me think about the Asian customs about the boy, male child is always superior versus the girl because that's their legacy. He's going to continue on the family. I hate that she went through it because my heart did break. And then to find her own found family that made me feel good that her and Virgil interacted like brothers and sisters. I think I'm jumping ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
If I
I think you're good.
Okay, but other than that, I felt like her family, her mom and dad were jerks. All right, mom, write them off too.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's really understandable because y'all really threw her to the wolves, and y'all let the wolf eat her. And it's just like, yeah, maybe you should go see the wolf.
I just thought that was a little insensitive, you know. I mean, not a little, a lot. I mean, they fucked her over. Like, let's just put that out there. All of this is really fucked up, really. But I think that the pressure to still continue to carry on like normal, like you didn't just fuck up my whole entire life. Like, I got a damn titanium leg that I can beat you in the head with. You
Mm.
know, it's normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's still young. She was so, so young. Her life was like, not her life was taken from her, but you get what I'm saying. The normalcy was stolen from her before she even ever had the chance to achieve it. And so, yeah, you weren't even happy for me. You didn't even care.
Poor Corey. I can't stand you. But from there, one thing that I noticed about August in this is that she gets this completely free education. And because it's coming to her in a certain way, she is so resistant to it that I wanted to shake her. Like, girl, you're getting a prestigious education. And I understand you got trauma connected to like just higher education, being perfect, black excellence, all of this stuff. Totally get it. But take the ride, you know? Use it for what it's worth. Use it for whatever you want to do with it. Just because somebody's giving this to you and they expect one thing of you does not mean that you have to do that. They can only tell you to go to class, keep up your GPA or whatever. They can only do that. They can't tell you which classes to take. They can't tell you how to invest your energy into this thing. You could genuinely use it for whatever you want. And she just was blowing that opportunity left, right, and backwards. It pissed me off, especially with the cost of education. Like, girl, shut up.
Especially with where I was with trying to get financial aid for my student loans at that time that I was actually reading the book. I was just like, you selfish bitch.
Right. Like, come on now. Come on now. I get you being upset and just contrarian to everything, but shut up. Take this win. Do something with yourself. Cause literally all you were doing before this was drinking and dancing and looking a fucking mess. That's it. At least now you have something. Shit, it was, I don't know. Whatever. She irritated me in this one little section, but we get to the first part of the competition. What did y'all think about the first part of the competition? Do y'all remember what the first part of the competition is?
It was like a test, test of information, knowledge,
On
history.
the old man.
Yeah,
On
and
Dr. Weiss, I think his name is.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And it was
and
wrong. It wasn't
yeah,
what she studied.
correct.
Yeah, it was deeper than the usual tests are. And again, do y'all feel like, because we were just reading Hunger Games and everything, and we were kind of looking at how things are manipulated when they have competitors they don't want in, they do everything that they can to make it harder for them. Do y'all think that's what's going on?
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
You get rid of the ones that you don't want, so you're gonna make it as difficult as possible. It even goes back to when she was doing the physical fitness test. She outdid all of them, and the the guy that was judging said redo it over again. That was foul.
And he
Yeah.
was putting her up against like the toughest performers,
Toughest, yes.
and they just were gonna make it so hard, which really shows how afraid they were of the possibility, right? Not even of her and Virgil, but the possibility of them.
Mm-hmm. So yes, the that first test is, the sit down, what everybody thinks of when they think of a test. You sit at a desk, you answer some questions, that kind of thing. But it was much more involved than it was supposed to be. And of course, the test is on things that she wouldn't know because one, it's not beginner shit. And two, she did not grow up in this society. So it was clearly meant for people who have known these things forever and would have no problem answering these questions. Then the second part of the test involves her and Virgil sinking their breasts together, something that they've already done anyway. What did y'all think about that? Because I was kind of like, let's move on. That's how I felt anyway. I was ready for it to be over the moment it started.
Uh,
I knew they were going to try and make him somewhat of a romantic interest at the very beginning when she noticed. I don't know if it was how big his hands were or something. It was something ridiculous.
I
And I
think it
was,
might have been his arms.
yeah, I was like, huh, here we go.
Here we go. I rolled my eyes so goddamn hard.
That part definitely did give romance vibes, like staring into each other's eyes, catch
And
each other's
breathe.
breaths, and focus. Nobody else is in the room. It's just the two of you melt into each other.
Right. Connect, combine.
I hated it so much, y'all. As much as I love this book, I hated that part. Like, what do you mean? Uh-uh. We ain't doing this. Shit was weird. Oh, okay. And then here we go. We got to the part that y'all were actually just talking about. Because this is not a two-part test, it's a three-part test. Y'all are asking for so much. Anyway, the third part of the test is the physical endurance part. And this is when they put my girl August through her paces and everybody else's because she goes up against someone just like, everybody else. And then when everyone else gets to sit down, take a break, get some water, rest their muscles, all of this stuff, she does not get to do that. They have her go up for every round of this physical competition. She does not get a single break at all. And they always put her up against the freshest and fittest person. So whoever is the biggest, the strongest, all of that, that is who she is going up against for the entire competition. So of course she doesn't win, but the fact that she even keeps up with no breaks, no water, and very little preparation is a testament to my girl's perseverance and the fact that she just refuses to be beaten by you hoes, which I love that for her. What did y'all feel watching her go through this? Because I felt really bad, y'all.
I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight. I was pissed because that's not even cool. You don't
Mm,
even have the other dudes doing that. You don't have the
nope.
strongest guys doing none of that. And
Nope.
she's a female.
She is the only one. Literally the only person who had to do that.
That's what irritated me. It's like you can see it was very in your face what the judge was doing.
Hmm.
You knew that these results would be skewed because of how he's working her so hard and heavily. And nobody was able to put a stop to it. And everybody just ignored it and glossed over it. Like it just, it felt typical. Because you got to work 10 times as hard to get half of what you got, right?
Absolutely. Black excellence. They talk about it in the book a lot from the very beginning. In the prologue, Sammy was talking about how she didn't want to join Riley and their friends in this thing that we don't know about because she didn't want to think about black excellence all the time. But I think what August's story is kind of letting us know is that black people can't actually afford to live a life where we don't think about it. Even when we're not actively thinking about it, there's always someone challenging us to step up to the plate, whether we like it or not, whether we want to or not. And I think that's what happens here. I did love it for that aspect because she don't have no choice but to show out. It just sucks that she constantly has to, that they're always pushing her to either be the best or just go the fuck home. I ain't like that. But Margot did stand up for her. Margot was on the sides and she was fighting. Now, did it work? No. But she was on her side at the very least. And I did appreciate that because August needs all the help that she can get. Poor baby. That was terrible. But that's the whole test. And I believe she fails, doesn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, she fails because of, because of what they do to her. She is at the bottom. Oh, that's so sad. That it kind of breaks my heart a little bit because it feels like I think we've all felt there or felt like that. No matter what I do, it's not enough. No matter how hard I push myself, it's not enough. It's always going to be easier for someone else than it is for me. And it's just not enough. But they do well enough. August is still a part of the competition and they go out to celebrate. And Corey's idea of pre-gaming is charcuterie, which is just like, okay, yeah, that makes so much sense. In chapter 15, we meet somebody else, Lara, who is Henry's partner. We also find out that she's his second partner because his first, whose name was Lewis, he died of some kind of progressive genetic illness. We also find out that senior masters, like Henry, who lose their partners, they don't have to compete in the candidacy again. Once you pass it, you pass it. But you do have to compete in the Monsters Ball again. And I guess it's to solidify your relationship with your new partner. Bachelors who never become masters and who lose their partners, I think they get kicked out. They can't go further because I think you have to make it to master status before you can just get a second partner like that, which is actually kind of fucked up. But Adam shows up. Now Adam is one of the doctorate candidates, and he's the one who is friendliest with Henry. So he shows up to this meeting where they're all there and Henry just wants to talk down, I believe, to the children. He's upset with their performance or something crazy like that. Adam comes, and I can't remember why he comes, but he wants to talk with Henry, and he's talking in front of August, and he kind of gives me the ick. What do y'all think about Adam? Because I don't know if I trust him. He makes me uncomfortable.
You really want to know my answer?
Yeah,
Sus.
ma'am.
That's it. Yes, he it's all about how he put his bid in for our girl August, how he just show up randomly. It's all it doesn't add well in my book. Not at all.
I just don't trust him. I don't trust him. I don't trust Henry. And the fact that they're working together makes it worse. Cause I'm like, I don't trust y'all separately. I damn sure don't trust y'all together. I don't know. We gotta keep an eye out on him and Henry. Just ill. After the meeting, Margot and August talk. I don't think that they actually needed to talk. Here in my notes, I put that I felt like the conversation was pointless because we saw the meeting. We didn't need to hear it be talked about, but we do learn that Margot kind of don't trust nobody. She's suspicious of Adam. She's suspicious of Henry. Henry's motives, what his end goal is, she does not know. Even though she considered herself kind of closest to him, to know that he's making decisions without her, she's very suspicious of him as well. So I like Margot for that too, for the fact that she just don't trust no fucking body. And I get that. Does anybody else feel anything about Adam? Do y'all remember who Adam is? Danny, I know you don't remember who Adam is.
It's Adam is one of the three brother sons, right?
Yes. I knew you knew who he was. Erica, do you remember who Adam is?
No.
It's the way that if I ever read a long fantasy book with y'all again, I'm making a character list. Anywho, in chapter 16, they're doing some type of group training. This is when they're going to the pen. August doesn't know where she's going. They're going to the pen and they're going to be in there training with, I think, random level 3 monsters. I don't know what that means, but they're going to be training with them. And there's been a mix up because there was a sign telling the people where to go, but because August was late, the sign is no longer there. And when Caden tells her which way to go, she's like, oh, he's tricking me. And she decides to go the opposite way. So, of course, she ends up in the pen, face to face with a damn monster in a cage. All because people are sabotaging, people are playing games. And I think we all know who removed the signs. This test is not the way that it's supposed to be either because I believe originally they didn't have to touch their partners, but now they do, and the test starts a lot sooner than it normally does, so it doesn't give people the time to adjust to being around monsters. And again, I can't help but think that it's targeting August, who they think would be very uncomfortable around monsters. Do y'all get that feeling? They trying to get my girl.
Yes, they're trying to make her the underdog.
Because they've had all had the opportunity to be around it and get some type of comfortability with it because it's not new to them and they're just trying to catch her off her game. But she's so down that she like, you know what? I see the human in these folks. Now y'all got me fucked up. It's really a big play on racism. I see this. I see what you're doing here.
Mm-hmm. I see it as well. Like we know racism when we see it, but I think this is also again a book that is written by a black author that does not talk down to its audience. So it's not like telling you, hey, this is racism or this is an allegory for racism. You just know. For people who know, you know what it is. And I like that it's not just outright said. I also like that it's not a one for one comparison. Like it has its similarities to racism, but it also has its similarities to other things. And I fuck with that.
Definitely ableism. I mean, you can substitute it for any of the isms, I guess. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's good.
Being othered, being mastered, being led because you need someone to keep your human in check. Like all of that is, fucking it's very masterfully done. She's an excellent writer. I did find myself like putting like highlights in the audiobook. Like I'm gonna go back in the book and actually read this so I can see it on the page and watch how it all flows together and builds. It's really well done.
Yay! I love that for her because she is the one who wrote Delicious Monsters, and I've been in love with her writing ever since then. But
Still ain't finished Delicious Monsters.
and that hurts my heart because I feel like it would touch you if you would just let it. If you would let it in, we would be in a better place right now. But anywho, in chapter 17, okay, so at some point, I don't really know when this happened, but apparently I missed it. I missed when she met Riley. Does anybody know when she met Riley? Because I don't.
No, I don't remember when.
I know that she was at her job, her old job, the job that she just walked away from, and Riley was trying to get the black girls in the room to join the Black Student Union. The Queen's Black Student Society, I believe, is what it's called. Cubis for short. She tried to get August to join, and August was like, "Yeah, I'm already in one cult. I don't have time for another one." Because August is an asshole. But we did meet her and we did hear about her, I believe, in the prologue with Sammy. So there has been a little bit of mention of her. She was Sammy's best friend, and now she is reaching out to August to come to a party at her house for the Black Student Society. And here we meet Jackson because we just keep meeting people. Jackson is apparently Riley's boyfriend. And he is eager. He has to let August know I'm her boyfriend. Did y'all pick up on what was being put down about that? Because I did. And I don't know if anybody else saw it.
I think everything gay. Absolutely.
Everything is gay.
Everything is gay.
Everything is gay. Everybody is gay. It's all gay.
Hold up. Since you said that, I didn't realize Corey was gay until middle or 75% of the book. I was like, how did I miss that?
Ma'am,
How did I miss that?
that is so long.
I know.
How
I
did
was
you not
so
know she
hurt.
was gay?
I don't know what I was doing. I was so caught up in the sus list that I was trying to figure out what was going on. And then I was like, oh, whoa, whoa.
Did she come out and say, "Oh, I'm gay"?
I was like, dude, where did
Where
this
were
come
you?
from? I don't know. I was told you what I was doing. I was looking at my sus list.
Oh my God.
I know. I was like, Corey? Oh, listen. I know. I know.
Jesus. Okay. So in the very beginning with Sammy, I kind of got the feeling that her and August might have been like more than friends, but less than girlfriends. Did anybody else get that feeling when they were reading about her?
I didn't remember her much.
Oh, I loved her. I feel like her like that beginning made such an impact on me. But
I didn't catch that.
hmm.
But I did pick up on it in the tension when Riley was talking about looking for her best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did pick up on it then, but I don't like at the beginning. I don't. That slipped my mind completely. It's a lot of names. You want me to keep up with the names? You want me to? It's a lot of people.
I want you to keep up with all of it.
It's easier for you because this is your second go round.
Listen, I had the names before, except for like a couple people. I forgot that Natalie lady. I definitely forgot her. And all the Shaw brothers, because why are there three of them? But neither here nor there. Okay. So Riley talks about the color blindness of learners society. So I just call it learners, right? And I thought that was a little bit of interesting piece of commentary about how color blindness is nice in some instances until it goes too far in restricting people from having pride about their identity. It kind of erases you in a way. What y'all think about that? Did y'all pick up on that?
Yes, I did catch that.
I saw that, and I like the arguments that were being presented. You know, all lives matter. You know, basically, don't all lives matter, me, bitch.
There was quite a bit of that, especially in learners, where it's just like, no, we're all a part of the whole.
Right? Like, no, don't. I sent y'all a picture of some of my notes. Like, I was like,
They do not believe in individualism in learners at all. We are a unit, and nothing differentiates us from one another except for the fact that it's built on this hierarchy that is meant to differentiate people. So they're fine with it, but only in the ways that they deem acceptable. It's just, ooh, it's so much like real people. But Riley is looking for Sammy's body. And this is when we find out that when Sammy died and she had her throat slashed, I believe, Riley found her. And when she went to get help, when they brought the help back, her body had disappeared. And she knows that monsters were involved. She knows about learners and she knows about monsters. And that is when we learn that Cubis, there is like a subset of Cubis where it's like learners, but not like learners. And they, of course, also know about monsters, but they don't do that like master shit. They don't do the bonds and all of that stuff. I don't even know if they believe in the apocalypse. I don't either, but I don't know if they believe in it. Um, and they also let August know that the man who started Learners Society, which I believe was DB Weiss, he left the society because of everything that they began to stand for. I like that idea too because when you start something, it can get away from you. And with more people and more ideas can come sometimes you get to this place where it's like, damn, what I wanted for this is no longer what it is. And it's impossible to change because it's gotten too big. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all have read Legendborn, but her story kind of reminds me of that, or August's story kind of reminds me of that, is the fact that they avoid black spaces. And it reminds me of Sammy too, with the fact that, you sometimes don't want being black to be your entire personality. So you avoid black spaces, you avoid stereotypically black things as a way to give yourselves,
more
some.
of identity.
I'm not the end all be all authority on blackness. And the less quote unquote black shit I do, the less you'll look to me for that. I think we're all so tired of having to be the authority on black shit just because we are black people that it pushes a lot of us to leave our communities or at least not be so gung ho about joining communities that are specifically for us. So would y'all have
And I,
joined Cubis? Maybe.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. I probably would have though, because I feel like there is space for you to have a community in each of the communities that you kind of belong to, right? Sorry, y'all, drink some water. If you're listening, drink some water. um, like you're readers, right? We're readers, so we have a reader space. I'm a planner. I have a planner space. Um, I do a lot of work with recovery. I have recovery spaces. And so it's okay to have a community in each of those spaces. So I probably would have joined it.
How about you, Candace? Would you have joined Cubis?
Yes, I would have, because that reminds me of Black Student Union when I was in school. So yes, I would have. That's my that's a community that I would have been involved in. With the multiple communities I would have been involved in.
I'm trying to get Fat to join BSU now. He's like, but why? I'm like, boy, yeah, join
Yeah,
it.
you need to join it.
What about you, Danny? Would you have joined Cubis?
Honestly, I would probably would have fought tooth and nail to just leave this school completely. But if I had no choice, maybe.
Why are you leaving?
I don't want to be around this.
Is it the monsters?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's a big part of it.
okay. Well, I would have joined Cubis. But I also understand why people might not. Because back in my younger days, I was considered too white for black people and obviously too black for white people. So it was really hard for me to join black spaces, especially since people were just really ignorant. Um, and so I just refused to join black spaces for a very long time. I didn't feel like there was a possibility that I could fit in there. So I didn't do it. But when I got older, and I started to get back in touch with my blackness and I realized how necessary those spaces are, like Erica was saying. And if you're with open minded people, they won't need you to be a certain way in order to be black enough to fit in. And you have to learn that. So I appreciated that they had that whole thing. And I appreciated that August didn't want to join because of her own reasons, but I also appreciated Riley's perspective of we need this for us. I think they're both right. You need black spaces as black people. You need black friends as black people. And if you are a black woman, please get you some black women friends. I beg you. It is great. It is the best thing ever.
Can't nobody love on you like a black woman.
At all. Never, not one time. The way black women love is so beautiful. It warms my heart. Chapter 18. This is my favorite chapter. I do remember this. Chapter 18 is where August actually goes to the Cubist house. And, she's already there, but she's inside and she's getting that sense of community. She like food, the music, the people, she's spotting people with like gold teeth in their mouth and all this kind of stuff. And y'all, it just felt so blackety black to me that I felt like this room had to smell like shea butter. Like I just knew it did. And I was like, oh, this is where I would want to be. I would stay at this place. Catch me at Cubans. Catch me at the headquarters because that's where I'm gonna be at.
Shout out to Clark Atlanta University, magical
Yes.
HBCU, because that's it. It definitely felt like being in the student, the student center in the lobby, waiting before you go down to the caf or anything. Just being in a space, like you said, just with all your peoples, just felt like home.
Yes. After that, her and Corey to go to train at the dojin, I believe is what it's called. Yeah. And this is when we learn about what happened with her. He bit through the bone. And that's the only way she got away because he was busy eating her body off the bone. And
Gross.
then her parents are like, "You want to see your brother?" That is fucking crazy to me. But we also see here, we meet Corey's parents for the first time, and we kind of understand her relationship with them and the fact that she does not fuck with them people at all. What would it take for you to forgive your parents for some shit like this? Could you ever do it? And what makes a person unforgivable too? Because I tried my best to put myself in her shoes, and the vengeance this that lives in my heart just said I can do it. But I don't know. Maybe y'all are more forgiving than I know y'all are more forgiving than I am actually. So what were you thinking?
I would definitely be standoffish, but I know that I would still love them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I would I would understand them, but from afar, kind of like her. Like, I don't know, because you love your brother, you grow up loving your brother, and then you are pissed at them, and then your parents, like, it's a lot of emotions that you mixed up in. I don't have to repeat it, but yeah, I think I would just kind of be like, nah, I'm cool, y'all.
Most definitely standoffish. We would not be in the same room together. No, no, no. With my parents, I would have to be standoffish because I don't trust you. I see you as the world now, so what I see is what I'm going to take into my perception of who you are. Yes, do I will still love you, but like Erica said, and like the author said, I will love you from afar with the character. I couldn't we couldn't be lovey-dovey like we were back in our younger years.
I think
I
it
feel
would be a
that.
lot harder to forgive for something like that. Not saying it would be impossible, and maybe it would just take a hell of a lot of work on my end, but I wouldn't be able to reach forgiveness easily. And definitely I would be estranged because you saw me as expendable. You know what I mean? Like I didn't matter enough to be protected. So I'm going to happily remove myself from this situation and stay in my own little lane. And y'all can figure out whatever y'all need to figure out over there.
I agree. I agree with everything that y'all said. I love you, but I don't trust you, is basically what it boils down to. I can't trust you with me. I can't trust you with my safety. You didn't even really view me as important outside of my importance to his life. Just a wild amount of things that I couldn't get past. And I don't know if I could ever forgive them. I know that I would want to try. I just don't know that I would be able to do it. I think I could have a relationship with them eventually while not forgiving them at all. And I think that's probably where I would land. Like, we ain't never gonna be the same again, but we could potentially have something. Cause I do love you. And I can't make myself stop loving you. Cause if I could, I would definitely do that. And then I would never speak to you again. But since that's not an option, I'm gonna love on you a little bit, I guess. But in chapter 19, Bernie, he of the Hawaiian shorts and the Hawaiian shirts and the short shorts or whatever the hell he be having. Which, what time is it in the year? Because how is he able to dress like that? I don't know. He's teaching them for the next part of the candidacy. And of course, Kato, bitch ass, he's being a hating ass nigga as usual. And he has a problem with it because Bernie, we learn, is not a master. Whatever happened, he's not a master. I think he's still a bachelor. And he never, like, he never gets past that for because I think he failed the candidacy once or twice or whatever. Either way, he's not a master. August sees some eyes through a damn hole and convinces herself that she saw some flickering lights. I was so pissed with her because what do you mean? Since when do you doubt what you saw like this? It's not even like you. Why are you acting like this? You know you saw some eyeballs. Did that piss anybody else off or was it just me?
Yeah, it really it really pissed me off. I'm like, dude, you don't never second guess yourself. Your mother raised you. What you see is what you truly have seen. You is nothing. You didn't waver. How are you gonna say it's flickering lights?
Also,
No,
flickering lights and eyeballs don't look alike. Like, bitch,
no,
why are you doing this?
dude, come on, come better.
That was so irritating.
Maybe that was her way of protecting her sanity. I'm going to be in denial about what I saw, even though I know what I seen, what I just saw.
It was basically her brain going, I know you fucking lying.
Basically.
She need to try something else because, baby, you know what you saw. Let's not even play these games. And you need to have your head on the swivel because look at where you are right now. We can't afford to deny anything. She got on my nerves. In chapter 20, so Riley and August, at some point in this book, this long, periodically book, decide that they're going to work together because
Along periodically.
so they decide that they're gonna work together because Riley is looking for um she's looking for Sammy's body. And of course, August is looking for her fucking brother. And they can work together because Riley knows how to fight monsters and shit such as that. So they decide they're gonna work together and it's a secret for like maybe 3 or 4 chapters because August and Riley fucking suck at subterfuge. And somehow they're supposed to meet up and talk with each other and search this house, right? Search the house that Sammy lived in. And Virgil and Corey end up going with them and they come up with the world's worst lie. I think they say they're trying to plan a surprise party or something stupid like that. And then they put Virgil and Corey downstairs to watch the door, only for people to come home and have them sneak upstairs talking about some, oh, we just have to hide. Man, the lies were terrible. They could never be spies.
And even then, when they found out, they was like, "Now you know what? Y'all finished. Y'all finished with this bullshit yet? Okay, all right. Just
I love that because they were being so transparent. Like, it's so obvious, y'all. What do you mean? Y'all ain't here for no damn surprise party in August. Since when do you do things for other people? You don't like anybody. At this point, she hasn't started doing anything for anyone. You gotta lie better than that. But in chapter 21, following whatever this is, we learn that the wilds, which are wild monsters, right? That they had been used to do the learner's dirty work. Now, this is information that Riley gives to August, and that's why I think Riley is so important as a character because she works against the narratives that the learner society give August through, teachers and mentors and masters and factions and Virgil and Corey and all this stuff. She has all these people singing the learner's praises. And for a long time, she is the only person who's like skeptical about them. Margot is skeptical, but she's skeptical on an inside way. And so August really is just, by herself with her beliefs about this. And then comes along Riley, who's like, I see what you're saying, and I'm gonna raise you because they're even worse than what you think. And that's how we learn about them using the wilds that they claim to be against to do their dirty work for them. Things like, I think they use them kind of like a hit squad sometimes, like murderers for hire and shit. But then when they get out of line, y'all want to kill them. It's a mess. It is a mess. And we learned that Cubis is the organization that Dr. Weiss, who was the original whatever, we find out that he created Cubis the same way that he had created the Learner Society. But he created Cubis to kind of be everything that the Learner Society turned out not to be when other people got their hands and their ideals on it. And it was just no longer a place for him, even though he fucking created it. I believe he thought that they should be equal with the monsters, or at least more equal than they turned out to be. And, that is how that goes. So we learn about that. And then we move on to chapter 22. But do y'all have anything to say about that? About good old the separation and all of that good stuff. Also, the fact that Riley loves to just drop facts about learners that Corey and Virgil try to skate over, like learners isn't a piece of shit.
It's the, like I say, the community battle, right? Like they're complete opposites. They're against the same thing, but you in the middle, like trying to like piece together what's what, because you realize that both of them have a motive here. Like both of them have a reason to tell you what they're telling you. So you just kind of have to figure out, like, do I believe this? Because what you need, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you want from me? What are you trying to convince me of? So I think it put her in a really precarious position too.
I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Anybody else before I move on to chapter 22?
I will say I did like the fact that Riley was dropping them nuggets, just about the other group. But it also made me think about when I was going to UNC Charlotte. They call it rush when the white sororities was going after certain girls. They had just to see how they would go after certain ladies if they want them in their organization. It was very interesting. So that gave me that whole rush type of vibe when I saw Riley and Virgil and them going against each other about telling August what's what and why you need to join this organization versus the other organization.
I agree with that 100%. So in chapter 22, this is one of my favorite moments because Margot is really pushy. She's just hard, like drill sergeant hard. I'm gonna push you past the point of your capabilities, and I'm gonna help you level up whether you want to or not. And she takes it too far. They're training, and she says something to August that just feels targeted because of August's body. August, of course, fights back against this. And I think this is the first time. This is when Virgil also steps in and is like, no, you are pushing her, and you're pushing her too hard. You're putting these unrealistic expectations on her, and you're doing it because you don't think she can do it, basically, because of her body, and you're calling her lazy strictly because of the way she looks, when in reality you're pushing her too hard. It's not that she's lazy and she's fat and she's this and she's that. You're just doing too much. And this is the time that she actually gets called out about that. And she can't deny that maybe I am doing a little bit too much. How did y'all feel about my girl Margot being taken down a peg or two? Because, I mean, it was about time. That's what I think.
I think in that moment it was the author's way of saying, hey, even when you have good intentions, you can still come across as an asshole. Because I think she was pushing her because she really did want her to be prepared for the bullshit she dealt with the first time with the what was it? The first, was it the
The
first test?
physical, yeah, that physical challenge at the very end.
Yeah, when he kept basically cheating her and throwing up all these different obstacles. I think Margot, for the most part, wanted to really prepare her for that if it were to happen again, or to be prepared for whatever unfair bullshit that they did decide to throw at her this upcoming challenge. But I think that she got lost in it. And sometimes when you get so focused and so lost in it, you lose focus of what really matters and how you should navigate it to get to the goal. But yeah, ultimately I think it was important for like Virgil to step in and have her back because one, I think that it showed that he actually really does give a shit about August. And it's not just about this thing that we need to do to come together. It's not about this goal that we're trying to reach at the end where we combine and you become my master and blah 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 blah. But it's like I care about you as a person as well. And I'm going to have your back. You're not alone in this situation. I am going to speak up for you when you are not able to speak up for yourself, or even if you are able to speak up for yourself, you're not able to be heard simply because you're you. So
Yeah,
I did enjoy that interaction, and I'm glad that Margot also took accountability for the way she was acting because like I said, I think it's very easy to lose focus and it's really easy to fall into an asshole an asshole type approach, especially because they really don't be fucking with each other like that. So,
true. They really don't. They are not besties.
no.
They're not. That was very well said, Danny. I truly, you summed it up very well, even to the point where this is where I have to say, Virgil stepped in and truly stood up for August. Um, I will say that moved him a little bit off the such radar. Not necessarily he's off, but it showed that he does have some type of compassion for August, and also he doesn't just fall for stupidity or wrongness. I'm not gonna say stupidity, but for blunt wrongness. Um, but yeah, very well said, Danny. All of it was well.
No, thank you.
I agree. So we also learned that Virgil had a similar experience when he came to live with Henry. People thought because he was fat, they doubted his work ethic, his cleanliness, and they didn't think that he had any style, all because he was a bigger boy. And this is when he was a child. Also, his parents tried to kill him, or they wanted to kill him after the rebellion because apparently monsters get stronger with every generation. So maybe they were afraid of him. I don't 100% know. Margot had a really tough time when she was a candidate as well. And I think part of why she is pushing her so hard is that she's experienced it as the outsider coming in. They really don't want these people there. And in order for them to be successful, they're just going to get pushed harder than literally anyone else. So that's, clearly a part of it, but she ended up training by herself. She was blocked from the society she was fighting to be a part of. She was being bullied, or like she had her own Caden, I'm guessing. And I feel like it doesn't undo how she treated August, but it definitely helped me to understand her better and why she's pushing her so hard because she had to push herself. I think Margot didn't even have a trainer. So all of the things that she's forcing August to do, she was just doing to herself. And the fact that she managed to succeed while having nobody is crazy. Shout out to Margot. You're a real one. I mean, terrible. Don't stop speaking to people like that. But she wanted it. And she had, she was doing it for her brother too. So I guess having a brother just makes all the difference. Why is it that all these girls are doing all of this stuff for these? Have y'all noticed that? It seems like the girls are usually in the master position, and the boys are usually in the monster position.
I
Ooh,
see what you did there.
what's that about? I like it.
It
Because men
gives
are
dominance.
monsters.
Hmm. Say it again, Erica.
I said because men are monsters.
I 100% agree with this. I'm like, oh, okay.
Like
Um,
they need to be domesticated.
like animals. And the sad part is, it's not far off from the truth.
Yeah, tamed and trained, honey.
That is so bad. But okay, I like that. I like that comparison. So her and Margot, they talk, they set some boundaries with each other. And Margot takes accountability for being a butthead. And she takes accountability far easier than August does. And I think that's one big one. It takes August a little or a lot longer to fess up and admit that she done fucked up. So we have to keep our eyes on that. At the end of this chapter too, she mentions how she's still gonna betray Virgil. Was getting on my nerves. And so now I'm gonna tell y'all. She mentioned it again. Chapter 23, we learn about Jules. How the fuck Jules get back here? Okay, whatever. We learned that he was really upset after their mom's disappearance. We learned that he was on academic probation.
Is this when she found out from his homie?
Yet his friend or roommate or whatever, when she ran into him and she talked to him, that is when she finds out that he was on academic probation, that he was struggling really bad. And he had also been struggling before the mom disappeared too, which is something we find out. This is right before the second stage of the candidacy competition. This is she's on her way there, on her way to go compete or whatever. And she runs into this dude and they have this conversation and it completely throws August off her game. And it also makes her late, which is not great because when she shows up late, Margot is pissed. Again, she's always so mad at her. I love that. Okay, when she gets there, they won't allow her any more time. She's late. They won't let her warm up. They won't let her do shit, basically. She is there for maybe 5 minutes before it's go time. Like, you get your ass in the competition, and they can't, they can't take her through her warm up, nothing. She is just in the game. We think that it might be a way to kind of go against Adam since he nominated her. It looks bad on him. And that is something that they're trying to kind of get through August's head. Her failure is not just her failure. Like, obviously, she would fail herself, she would fail Virgil, but it would also reflect poorly upon Henry and Adam. And at this point, when we're having this election and Adam is up for the election, we can't really have that. So there's a whole lot of pressure on her shoulders, and reputation is really important in this society or whatever. But oh, yeah. And then they have this moment, child, where August and Virgil got a hug and he gives her flowers and it's all romantic and stupid. Did y'all want them to have that romance? Am I the only one who wanted them to cut it out?
I just knew it was coming at the beginning. Like I said, when she described how big his arms or his hands or whatever it was, I was just like,
It really could have been left where it was because every fucking every fantasy does not need a romance trope. It doesn't have to happen. Also, they feel awkward together to me. It doesn't feel natural anyway, so yeah.
No, it doesn't feel natural at all. At all.
It feels forced. It feels like the author is forcing these characters to come together.
Mm-mm. It's weird. Their whole thing, it works so much better as friends. I don't get like August being attracted to him, and I don't get him being attracted to her either. I
I don't
genuinely
get
thought,
August being attracted to no dude.
yeah, no. I thought her and Margot should get together. From jump, I thought her and Margot should get together. I felt like they should give us a real true enemies to lovers thing where like we really are adversaries and we work our way to that. Cause I felt like that would be the best thing. And I feel like they have more chemistry than her and Virgil. And I think Virgil is asexual. I don't see him liking nobody. Virgil the Virgin kind of like to stay that way.
I can see that. I can definitely see him not being interested in anybody, not like that.
Right. Just like, ugh, no. I like you, but I don't like you like that. And I would have liked that better, to be honest. Like that would have been really good.
He friend zones himself.
Yes. Here for the friend zone people. Chapter 24, a filler. Bailey comes over and she brings things for August. And we finally learn this girl's parents' names, Annie and Mike. And we also learn that Annie was kind of like a big sister to Bailey, who is actually Mike's sister. And we learn how much that she like idolized her and she looked up to her and she loved her and everything. And this is not something that August had any clue about. She did not know that they had a relationship because they moved around so much, and she didn't spend much time with Bailey growing up, so she just assumed that they had never been close. But it turns out that wasn't the case. And this is also the time where we kind of see August soften up, right? We get to see her open up to Bailey a little bit and let her in. And I thought that that was such a beautiful thing. Did your heart grow 3 times larger when you read it, or was it just me?
I like seeing the relationship because I am really, really big on family and stuff. And I understand like trying to hold a grudge and, wanting to understand. But I think that they opened up and, she really let her in and told her, like, you don't have to be here alone. You don't have to fight this. You don't have to do everything alone.
I thought it was a great moment to see August grow in her feelings and allowing someone into her personal space.
I agree. I did like that chapter. Danny, did your heart grow at all for August?
Uh, no.
You know, we're gonna talk about your compassion skills. Anyway, in chapter 25, August goes to Macintosh Castle, which is the name of the place where Virgil and Corey live. She goes over there for a Victorian themed sleepover. She ain't got none of that Victorian shit on. She's wearing the gift that her aunt bought her, which is like a Queen's University sweat suit, top and bottom. She wears it. It was soft. She did not think that they were serious about the Victorian theme of the sleepover, but apparently Virgil and Corey take this shit very seriously. And they dressed up. They both got on nightgowns, and it's really cute. I would have dressed up because what do you mean? They gave you the theme, girl. Put the shit on. But I also do think it's really cute that she wore the gift that her aunt gave her, because I think before, when she was more closed off, she wouldn't have even accepted it, let alone wore it somewhere, right? So I did love that for her. At the same time that they're having this sleepover, with the charcuterie board, because Corey loves her charcuterie board, Henry is having a strategy meeting where August is the person that they're talking about. But it's crazy because y'all talking about me at a meeting I can't even go to. That's the crazy part. That is how she feels. And I understand that, because what do you mean y'all talking about me, but you can't talk to me? That's crazy. Margot's there, and I believe she plans on telling them. But the thing about Margot is she's only going to tell them what she thinks they need to know. And I don't like that either. Just tell me everything, and I'll decide what I need to know. So that's her whole thing. August and Virgil have this weird ass discussion about a damn bird. And Erica, when I read this, I thought about you because you tend to understand like fables or whatever better than I do. And I wanted to know what you thought about this conversation that they had about this damn bird. If
Um,
you remember it.
I barely remember it, but it was something about the bird like coming back or something to a place, and I was trying to figure out what they all meant, what it all stood for. I do remember trying to figure out what it meant. I'd have to look back. What chapter are we in? I'll go back and look at it real quick. I got my Kindle
Chapter
right.
25.
Okay, well while y'all talk, I'll look right quick.
Okay. Danny, did you have anything to say about the bird? Do you care about the bird at all?
Oh, what bird? What?
You know what?
A bird.
There was a bird. There was a bird.
A
Do,
bird.
do you remember the theme, the sleepover with the Victorian outfits?
I do remember the sleepover because I feel like that's when they kind of started being a little bit friendly. Finally.
Yes, it is. It is. They're actually starting to hang out and spend time discussing things and being together when it's not concerning just the competition.
Yeah. Like the friendship was starting to be was actually showing his face a little bit. So I do remember that part, but I don't remember a bird.
They were in Virgil's room and he had a stuffed bird and then he told her about like this story of a bird. What she got from it was that the person who kept the bird like wanted the bird to be caged, and what he got from it was that the bird loved the person who rescued it so much that it wanted to stay. So they kind of had these very conflicting ideals just about this story about this damn bird.
Okay, I do remember them having a conversation about the story because I feel like, and I'm paraphrasing obviously, but I feel like August said that maybe the bird is sticking around because it feels obligated to stick around because it was rescued or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I do remember that part. I don't know.
I like that whole section. I just don't know that I understood it 100%. That's why I asked Erica if she like what she kind of got from it, because I don't know that I understand allegories. I can spot them, but I'm always kind of like,
Yeah, no, I just went back and read it, and yeah, I think basically I hate to use Harry Potter as a reference, but it shows what different houses they are in, right? Because August automatically is like, but now she's repaying the debt. She doesn't look at it as something that you're just doing out of the kindness of your heart. You get what I'm saying? Whereas he's looking at it like, oh, no, they loved each other so much. You know, like the bright look on the bright side versus look on the real side, kind of. So it really shows a lot about each of them and the way they interpret it.
mm-hmm.
And then in the end, to stuff it and just keep it.
It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yep, that's creepy.
Even in death, you have no freedom.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right. And then I paused because I've been thinking I haven't watched the movie Obsession, but I've been watching all these videos on it and the lack of consent and all of that stuff. And you mean I came here all this time willingly, even if I felt obligated, but I was willingly obligated to come and sing for you. And then even when I die, you just gonna keep me hostage for some more time. Like, give us a three.
Exactly. Set us up out of here. We ready to go.
Yeah.
At some point, I should be able to be a bird again. And
Fly like an eagle.
so yeah, I actually did really like it. But at this meeting that Henry is having, there is someone there, and of course, Virgil ends up going downstairs to get some jelly. August says she has to go to the bathroom, but of course she is a lying liar who lies. And she's going downstairs to ear hustle to see if she can hear anything through the door for the meeting. Of course, she doesn't hear very much, but when the meeting lets out, one of the people that comes out is one of the guys who attacked her in the very beginning of the book. And this is when my spidey senses started to fucking tingle. We cannot trust Henry, y'all. We can't. You know, it was a scheme that Henry had set up. That's all I'm saying.
I'm like, going to say it, Candace.
What, sus?
Right.
Of course.
Cause like that's just I feel that that can't be a coincidence. Why do you know him? why do you know him? And he was like the catalyst for a lot of this. Why do you know what I mean? I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, August gets her apology because, Virgil's upset. You were being predatory toward her. Henry claims to be upset. And he does make the boy apologize to her. And
His name is Peter. My bad. His name is Peter.
okay, that's Peter. I didn't even know he had a name. Damn. Okay, well, Peter's a bitch. So, here we go with him. But then again, at the end of this chapter, y'all, at the end of this chapter, August reminds us that she is planning to leave Virgil again. And I fucking hate it. Okay? I hate it. I don't need to know. Like, I heard you. I heard you the first time, friend. You are planning to leave. So, in chapter 26, we find out some stuff about Cubis. Because apparently Riley knew Jules. He had joined Cubis, he quit, and then he tried to rejoin, but he was denied. Because there's a separate section of Cubis, but their group within the group is being targeted. So now we're kind of understanding maybe what's going on and at least unraveling it a little bit because the people who have been attacked, as it turns out, they had connections to Cubis. And that's kind of where we go from there together. Riley and August, I don't know why the fuck they thought that they should team up and do something, especially when they have never done anything like this before. Y'all barely even like each other. I don't know why y'all thought y'all could work together cohesively, but whatever. They decide to to follow a elected Cubis member to a meeting. He ends up meeting with a monster. They end up having to fight the damn monster. She wears a Satha, is what I believe it is, and can be trap monsters, them out of their monster form. All right. I thought for sure, y'all, when I was reading this book, I thought it was gonna be Davy because I was just like, it's gonna be Davy. Like, and now we're gonna find out, all this time Davy has been alive and he's actually a monster, blah blah. And now we gotta figure out who's controlling him, all of these things, right? It turns out that Jules is not missing, y'all. He's a monster. And he is one of the ones that has been attacking these freaking Cubis members. Were y'all shocked when y'all found out about
Not
Jules?
shocked. The
And
only
what did I
thing
tell you? And what did I tell you? Sus. That's all I'm going to say.
the only thing that shocked me is that it wasn't her mammy.
Okay.
Really? Her mammy? Really?
I don't think I even thought that it was her mom. I always
Her
thought
mama
that,
is wrapped up in this. Her mama is a
Yes,
oh,
monster.
definitely her. She's wrapped up in it for sure.
most definitely.
I just didn't think it was. I didn't think that she was a monster who was, running around. But shit, we don't see what happened to her. So of course, like no body, no murder. Like we don't know.
What if the eyes that she was looking at the beginning of the thing was her mama? That's why
Nah,
she
Maybe.
recognized the eyes.
well, it does tell us who the eyes belong to.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Oh yeah. I'm just saying, could be not.
It could have. I could go with that. Her mama could be the rabbit monster. I mean, the rabbit monster. We don't know
Yeah, because this one. Mm,
because we still don't know who the rabbit monster is.
hmm We just know that apparently Jules is a monster,
Correct.
and I was like, oh my god. Because of course I remember that Jules is a monster, but I forgot when we find that out. And so I was just like, I'm not expecting us to find out that this man is a monster around 50%, but that is where you should kind of get that information. It makes sense that it would be right there, but we also find out that the higher ups in Riley's organization do not want her looking into the disappearance of Sammy's body because it might trigger problems with the Learner Society. And the two societies kind of have this tenuous truce going on right now. And so any tipping of those scales could go back to them being outright adversaries. So she is on some sneak shit as well. And he does end up getting away, but of course not before, Sissy finds out, ta-da! You ain't getting out of this shit ever. This was the moment that sealed her fate. How you gonna leave this society and the world of masters and monsters when your brother is a monster, bitch? You stuck. Welcome to your life now. Did y'all feel that? Did y'all get that sense of impending doom of like she's never getting out?
Yeah, I did catch that. I said this is gonna be an ongoing problem unless they both die together. That's the only way. That's the only way I can see an end to this.
Oh my god.
I said that took a turn real quick.
It did. It changed everything. Cause now she can't leave. And Candace thinks everybody should die together.
I mean, we can see, but seriously gonna have to take an act of Jesus or something. But yeah, yeah, this is gonna be rough.
Absolutely. Daddy, did you feel any type of way about how did you feel when you found out that Jules was a monster? Did you think he was gonna be one?
Honestly, yes. When it was revealed that he was a monster, I was surprised. Um, because of the way it all just happened. Like he just up and disappeared. Nobody has seen or heard from him. He says monsters are real. Don't come looking for me. Like it just I feel like it was kind of hinting toward him being a part of that society and not being a master, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I saw it coming, but the way it was revealed was shocking to me.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I
That,
like the way it was revealed.
that is a good moment. I loved it so much. Okay, in chapter 27, August is just kind of reeling from finding out that her brother is a monster. Of course, she has to let go of this fantasy in her head that she's been holding on to this entire time about being able to just leave the society and not have any connection to it because now her only way to help her brother is to succeed. She has to. It's no longer optional. And also, she doesn't know who she can trust to even talk to about her brother because I believe he's a wild, which means, you know, they will probably put him down before they help him in any way. Especially since he's been murdering people.
Right.
He ain't in a good position. That sucks. In chapter 28, we find out that Isaac is into Mia. Does anybody remember who fuck Mia is?
That's the nosy little girl that was on the island with the auntie, Bailey.
Who is
Yes.
also a monster or a monster hunter.
Yes,
Yeah, her
yes.
I believe her family is are connected to monster hunters. I really do think that. But we do figure out, that there's some connections, there's some wild connections. But Isaac is basically in love with Mia. And he's been going to Virgil of all people for dating advice, which blew my fucking mind because Virgil? Really?
Look, y'all better stop playing in my boy Virgil face. He be putting that shit on. It be looking a hot ass mess to some of us, but he be putting that shit on, and he proud of it too.
He take it right back off. Listen, I
Listen,
love Virgil, but I
he
wouldn't go
is
to
like
Virgil for dating advice.
he is like a chunky Carlton preppy boy style.
You know what he reminds me of? Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, but fly,
In his opinion,
in his opinion.
in his estimation.
He said, I put that shit on. I just want y'all to know.
You know, and we know. We see it. We see it with our eyes. And sometimes it hurts.
You know who he gives me the vibe of? You remember that movie? It's from, oh my God, it's from Disney years ago. Coco Jones was in it. I think it's called Let It Shine.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
He reminds me of the character that the guy who plays Everybody Hates Chris played as in that movie. Because he was really like kind of dorky, but he was a sweetheart, but he had his own style and he was okay with it.
Yeah, but chunky like Faison Love.
Oh, not face.
Like Cedric the Entertainer. Like
Is he really, is he that big?
I don't know, but that's what I saw. Like I saw a big teddy bear, like buff football player, but preppy. Like I just had a big boy look in my
I mean,
head.
I could see, uh I wouldn't give it Cedric the Entertainer or Faison Love though.
I think he's definitely chunky, but like also on the muscular side. So
Yeah,
maybe like muscular but with a belly. Like
yeah,
a like a
not,
pre like a premium dad bod.
A premium dad bod.
yeah, maybe not quite dad, but
Listen.
like I say, football player on the defensive line, solid, muscular but solid. Yeah,
Yeah, like muscular chunky.
chunk muscular,
Chunkular.
chunkular,
He
chus,
is, he is
chunk,
chunkular.
chunkular. All right, I'll take it.
I'm glad that we have a word for that now.
Hmm.
Okay, in
Y'all
chapter
think
two,
Mason gonna be chunkular?
I think so. He
Okay,
got a bit of stockiness, but he's so young, so it might, if he start working out, probably not.
okay,
Because my brother was chunky like that, and then child, he started going to the gym and eating right. This nigga is a stick figure,
okay.
a stick. He be like his daddy. Okay, so we find out, that Mia and Isaac are kind of sweet on each other. She is. Oh, we have some like some indigenous rep as well, which I thought was super dope. And again, it's not talking down to us, so like there's no run on paragraphs about what indigenous are and how to be indigenous, and it nothing like that. It doesn't feel like a cliche. It just feels like these people are indigenous and they're celebrating their culture, their heritage. It is what it is, and we're moving on, which I genuinely appreciate because that's how it's supposed to be. Like, diversity does not mean that you make a spectacle of people's identities, and I felt like she didn't make a spectacle of it. It just was a part of who Mia is. So she's planning this like dinner on the island to celebrate her culture, but also just to be welcoming to the people in her community. So even though it is like an indigenous celebration, and it is like, I think she says like a prayer or something in their native language, everybody in the community is invited, and like they're, to take part in it. As long as they're respectful, you can come. And I thought that was dope. And of course, Virgil being Virgil and Isaac being in love with Mia, they both decided they're gonna bring their little happy asses over there and they help. And it's very cute. And August is avoiding my boy Virgil because she has not told him about her brother. And I don't think that they talk about it here just yet, but he knows that something is wrong with her. And he lets her know that whatever is going on with you, I am here to help. I don't care what it is. But she also does have a little bit of hesitance when it comes to trusting Virgil because of his loyalty to Henry. She does not know if his loyalty is stronger to Henry or stronger to her. And that's real because yeah, eventually his loyalty will probably be to her because of their bond, right? But we ain't got there yet. And if we don't ever fucking get there, how do I know that you won't go and tell Henry, even if it's not to get me or Jules in trouble, but maybe you're doing it because you think this is the way to help us, and your naivete end up like, now my brother did. So I felt that. I felt the way for her, and I was just like, damn. I don't know if I could tell him either, even with him, begging and giving me the puppy dog eyes about how he want to help me and stuff. What were y'all feelings on it? That whole little section.
You better keep him on the sus list.
You
Mm-mm.
you want everybody on that list.
Virgil is going to stay on that list until he proves himself, and he hasn't truly proved himself. So no,
He ain't even prove himself a little bit.
teenage bit, but it's not enough.
Okay. Erica, Danny, whoever.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I think the situation shifted when she realized that he was not just missing, but he's in the woods. Oh God.
Literally and
And on
metaphorically.
and on one hand, I was like, "Girl, you got to tell him something to find out something." You know what I'm saying? Just kind of like with Riley. Riley told you a little something, something to get a little something, something. You ain't giving nothing, so you ain't getting nothing. But then at the same time, it's like, I don't fool with him. I don't want to fool with him because I'm just gonna get my brother. I gotta go get my brother.
What if she also was like kind of off put about sharing that information because she feels like if she does share said information with Virgil and he does in fact help her to get her brother back or find some type of solution for her brother, that she's obligated, like the bird conversation, she's obligated to stick with him and she don't want to.
I can see that too. I actually really like that view on it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That tells you so much about the people and how they interpreted it. And so, like you said, the fact that she's like, hell no, because I don't want to be obligated and then stuffed at the end of my death as a damn hero of the
hmm Nobody wants to be a martyr. I'm cool.
It's
That was a miss.
just the visual I got from that.
Virgil's emotional support monster. I mean, master. Get out of here.
These poor people.
Uh-uh. No.
Terrible. Okay. Chapter 29. Riley and August. They have a pointless fucking fight. I don't remember what it's about, but I do remember that they have it. In August, she self destructs because, of course, she does. And then she goes to a club and she decides that, tonight is the night that I'm gonna dance and get drunk. Even though we gave up on that drinking and drug shit before. We said we weren't doing that anymore. And then she ends up going, and of course, Virgil, Virgil and Corey, they go and they get her, and Virgil, with his snitching ass, tells them she's underage, and they destroy her fake ID. And August is pissed. Also, this is the time where Corey wants to talk about her research, and ain't nobody listening.
You didn't even care.
Ain't nobody listening to her about this damn research. Of course, August goes off, She is combative with everybody. Okay, so she fights with Riley first. She fights with Virgil. and she fights with Corey, and she told that girl pretty much, you ain't my friend, you ain't never been my friend, you ain't never gonna be my friend. Also, in this chapter, we find out that the monsters, the wild ones, are looking for the artifacts. Now, here we go with some more stuff. The artifacts are the things that the Cubist members wear. So, like Riley's scythe necklace, that's an artifact. The monsters that are, they're being controlled or whatever, they're looking for those. So, her and August get into a fight or whatever, and then she fights with everybody else. And the girl just goes to sleep drunk for the first time in however long, feeling shitty. I think she feels scared, guilty, probably feels really bad for like getting into it with her brother, all the lying, probably everything catching up to her with about the fact that she had planned to leave Virgil as soon as she could leave him, and everything else. And then she just kind of passes out in her room by herself, but not before my girl Corey, I think, leaves her aspirin and some water, because Corey is a real one, and she feels like when we friends, and even when you act like an asshole, I'm still gonna take care of you like a friend,
She a
even
Huff-
when you don't deserve it and you don't care about my research.
she a Hufflepuff.
Huh?
She's a Hufflepuff.
I think she is. She is Captain Sabo. The captain of all the captains, by the way. She's so soft and sweet and just. I felt so bad when August was talking to her crazy.
I think Corey was more forgiving of her outbursts because like she's gotten to know her. She remembers how she was when she first entered this space and now she saw how far she's come. And then, her popping off the way that she did, all it was her reverting back to what was comfortable. Like that was a comfortable way for her to express her frustration with everything. Like, because I think if you pay attention to somebody long enough, which I think that Corey is one of those people who,
Very observant.
yes, and by her being able to do that, she can also recognize this is about more than just this fake ID. There's
Hmm.
something more here to you, and you acting out, and taking it out on everybody else in this over dramatic way. I know that there's more here, so therefore I'm willing to give you some grace. And I'm also willing to show you that even when you act like an asshole, I'm not gonna be scared off that easy. Like we locked in. That's just what it is.
Exactly. The kind of friend you need but don't always deserve.
Exactly. That's how she comes across to me because she definitely gave grace where I would have not.
I have to say, Corey is very mature, extremely mature for her age. Very mature. And I totally agree with you, Danny, because how many people, after you just told your peoples off that we're not friends, they're gonna sit there and basically cuddle you to make sure you're fine and you don't die in your vomit and all that good jazzy stuff after you just told them off. Not us. Not too many people. So yeah, I feel like Corey is a very mature young lady that's very observant. And I think that I also feel like she can relate to August to an extent, but yeah, that's just those are my opinions.
Well, that has gotten us to the 50% mark, y'all. We made it.
How many chapters is in this book? My God, I didn't realize it was this long when I was reading it. Because I was
Me
into
neither.
it.
Now, the
Ah,
first time I did, this time I felt every last one of them chapters, but let me see. 55 chapters and an epilogue.
oh hell.
To anybody listening, I appreciate you hanging out with us. This is only part one. of our discussion of A Mastery of Monsters. If you like what you hear and you would like to hear some more from us, come back in a short time because we will be back with part 2.